This is the talk, real talk. This is the talk with big boss. This is the talk, real talk. This is the talk with big boss. Check it. Real talk, you piss them off. This ain't the channel for your softies, just click off. But if you like, hit subscribe. I'm out to owe you better know the coast we ride. You in your feelings when you talk, we keep it real. And roast control, you better know we keep it real. You in the chat room listening, hit the like. If you a hater in here tripping, take a hide. You in these YouTube streets on your bike. You texting internet, flex and get a like. You need to cut, way out your push. We real talk, that's in private or in public.
Big boss, big boss, big boss, big boss, and you know it's real talk. Real talk, big boss, big boss, big boss, big boss, big boss, and you know it's real talk. Real talk, big boss, big boss, big boss, big boss, big boss, and you know it's real talk. Real talk, big boss, big boss, big boss, big boss, big boss, and you know it's real talk. Real talk, big boss, big boss,
oh man,
and you know it's real talk.
Bossy-Leeny, you know what it is, and you know it's real talk. Oh man, yo, and again, as always, shout out to Big Bass on the beat. You know what it is, Big Boss from where? Oakland, California, for another Saturday Night Live. That's what it is. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. I'm gonna have a good show. Tonight's featured guest is a returning YouTuber, excellent YouTuber, on his way to 1,000 subs, almost there. Hopefully we can get him over the top. He really deserves it. He's been in the game, in the trenches for a long time, kind of walked away and came back, and now he's hitting it harder than ever. Just got back from a trip overseas a few weeks ago. The guy is a hustler. Even though he has YouTube, he's working his regular job, doing what he's do, stack up his money. He's on his purpose. So it was real hard to get this interview with this brother, man. This man has almost 1,000 subs, but he moves like he has 100,000 subs, man. So anytime I'm able to catch up with him and get him on camera and sit him down and have some real talk, it's always a good day. So the person in question, you see the thumbnail. It is Mulano, the travel vlogger. You guys put your hands together. Now, here's the man of the hour. Boom. Yo. What's up, sir?
How you been?
I've been all right, man. Yeah, thanks for coming on. Like I said, it's hard trying to catch up with you, man. You know, you grinding. Just got back from vacation, and you doing your regular job. You know, you putting them hours in. You burning the candle at both ends. So you are a hustler. So thank you for making time for this interview.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've been going to Mexico. I went to Mexico last year so many times. I'm working hard like a Mexican.
Look at that. Yeah, people probably mistake you for a Mexican. You know, yeah. It's an old joke going back from a TV show, comedy TV show back in the day, In Living Color, produced by the Wayne family. They had one skit on there where I guess they were like Jamaicans, and everybody in the family had like literally 15 jobs. And part of the joke was like one person had like 2 or 3 jobs, and they all ragged at him, talking about he lazy. You only have 3 jobs? You need to have 15 jobs. You're Jamaican. Wow. Yeah, so for years, people used to rag on me and say that I was Jamaican because, you know, I used to work like a bunch of, I had about 3 or 4 jobs and whatnot. So
that income comes in. I mean, so when I started doing traveling to DR, to Sosua precisely, I had 2 jobs. I had one, I was pushing shopping carts with Walmart, That was my full time, and then the other side was a sub shop. You know, so that was two. I actually was getting three incomes because if you look at it, I was getting hourly at Walmart pushing shopper carts. At the sub shop, you get a paycheck and you get tips. So that's two different revenues right there. So you having like three incomes coming in.
So sub shop, you talking about what sub? Well, like Subway sub sandwiches?
Yeah, it's basically called Jersey Mike's. I don't know if you guys have it. Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I think it's more on the East Coast. So basically you basically make the subs and everything and ring people up. They pay you a certain base salary, and then like a lot of the customers that come in, they'll put in on the tip jar and you split that with everybody. So sometimes I was getting like $40, $50, you know, $30, $40 of tips, splitting it, yeah, and then my check off there too. So plus the Walmart check. So that's like
yeah.
And the tips is tax free.
Tax free. We talking about Subway sandwiches, right?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
But not at Subway,
hey,
man, Mike.
Hustler. You always been a hustler, man. And even now you still hustling on your day job. That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
You was telling me that out there where you at again? City and state?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Raleigh, huh? You said there was a storm out there earlier?
Yeah, so there was a storm that came and I was outside, and that's why it seems, I don't know if it gets choppy in this little interview, but that's what happened. And I guess it was windy and the rain wasn't coming in, but I guess the wind must have hit something with the Wi-Fi. That's what my housemate was telling me about. So
okay,
I don't know. Hopefully it kicks back in, but
right. Yeah, right now the video is a little choppy, but the main thing I worry about is the audio. Just as long as I can hear. Yeah. If it gets too bad, you know, you can cam down and put up the
yeah, I'll
the
probably end up just doing that. It'll probably be better, the avatar.
Okay, you know what? Go ahead. Everybody, they see it's the real Mulano, the travel vlogger, not a troll. Yeah, that little picture went away, huh? Your avatar picture went away?
No, it's still there.
No, it's not right now. It's not.
Okay. It's on my thing. I don't know.
It's on your thing? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
wow.
That's weird.
Okay, well, it is what it is. We're going to run with it, man. When life hands you lemons, you make lemonade.
Yep.
Yeah, they know it's you. They know it's you.
Better now that I did that, though? I said, can you hear me better now that I did that? Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, well, the audio wasn't the super big problem. It was kind of just the video was choppy. So it's all good, bro. We'll get through it, man. Think about technology, man. You know, nothing is perfect. Everything is man-made.
Yeah.
And nothing can stand up to nature, right? Nature always wins. So we're gonna work around nature. We're not gonna fight nature. We're gonna work around nature. Shout out to nature.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, man. So, hey, well, that being said, let's push forward. Mr. Mulano, the travel vlogger with no avatar picture. Boom.
Yeah. Well, did it come back on?
No. Yeah, you know, transparency before I hit the live button or whatnot, the picture did load, but for whatever reason, your picture went away and it's just that bare white circle.
Wow, that's crazy. Because I could see it on here.
You see it now. Oh wow, it's not showing for me.
That's great.
Maybe it's a glitch in the matrix. Maybe when this thing like go live, like you know when I post it for real, maybe it'll magically pop back up. But it's all good. We know it's you, man. We know it's you. So that being said, Mulano. So, sir, since you've been on my show last, you have went on another trip in between that time, correct?
Yeah, San Salvador, El Salvador, to be exact.
El Salvador. Okay, shout out to El Salvador. Yeah, so recently I did a interview with a YouTuber. You may have heard of him, Philly Dom. Shout out to Philly Dom. Congratulations on him hitting his 50K. Now he's at 51K. Man, the guy, motivated me to go El Salvador. He gained another 1K before I even gained 100 subs. A shout out to him.
Wow.
What were you saying, Mulano?
I said he actually motivated me to go to San Salvador. So with his videos, so
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. When I interviewed him, he said he'd been several times. He's been several times. So, and this was your first time when you went just last?
Yeah, this is my first time.
Okay. And how long did you stay?
I'll say I stayed. I want to say I think it was like 3 days. Yeah,
Oh,
like 3 days.
oh, I knew it was short. I didn't. For some reason, I didn't think it was that short. Man, you did a turnaround. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, I want to say it was like 3 or 4 days. I think I really want to say it was like 3 days though. I stayed, but
Okay.
I forget how long it was. You know, but I know it was a short stay. It wasn't that long.
Okay. Wow. From Raleigh, Keller. So you flew out of North Carolina. What? How many connectors did you have? Like, what was your route?
Oh, so basically when I flew from Raleigh, I flew from Raleigh all the way to Miami and into San Salvador.
Okay. Oh wow. Raleigh, Miami, El Salvador. That's what's up.
Yeah.
And about how long was that flight altogether, or all delayed?
So my flight left, I want to say at 7, and I got there probably around like maybe 12 or something like that.
Okay. Okay.
That's not too bad.
Not too bad. That's what's up. You did that like a true weekend warrior. First time, El Salvador. So the country El Salvador, in the city San Salvador or South Salvador?
Yeah, so basically it's like how do you say it? Like El Salvador is the country and San Salvador is like the capital.
San Salvador.
It's like Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh's the capital and North Carolina is the state.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty much what Philly Don was saying. So that being said, what was your experience like in those 3 days, 3 to 4 days? What was your experience the first time in El Salvador / San Salvador?
Well, I'll say this: the first experience, that I will say this, even though I had some videos talking about a lot of the cons, not getting conned, but the bad side of going to San Salvador. There was some good stuff, which was the people are very hospitable. They're very helpful. I mean, the Uber driver went well and beyond. I made sure I tipped him. I think I tipped him like $5 or $7, something like that, because he went way and beyond, like to make sure I got a hotel that I liked. He didn't even have to do that. He could have just been like, "Man, I'm bringing you here," and that's it. Because the hotel I was supposed to go to, I thought that was supposed to be it was going to be decent with the pictures, but it was all gated and all this other stuff. It really, I wasn't really feeling it. So I was like, "Oh, let's go to another one." And he ended up helping me choose one that was good. I got a 2-bedroom, and I say on one of the videos, I got a 2-bedroom hotel, well, motel, whatever it's called, 2-bedroom for $45 a night, 2 beds.
Wow.
Beat that.
That's what's up. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so the hotel that you what did you book through? Booking.com or Travelocity? What did you book through originally? The first original hotel.
So the original hotel, now I know a lot of people are gonna look at me crazy when I did this thing. I'm like, "Man, Mulano, you ain't never prepared." But I basically, if we talking like a rapper, I basically freestyled it. Because a lot of times, I ain't gonna lie, I did this in Tijuana too, and shout out to QB Passport Flex, and he ripped my
But that's Mexico. You freestyled it in El Salvador?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you why. So I've actually freestyled it in Brazil, and a lot of people look at me crazy, like, "Man, you should be having your stuff all set up." But the reason why is because I was actually gonna do a little bit of San Salvador, then I was gonna do like the beach, but I ended up doing all of it in San Salvador. But one thing and this is the reason why I do this. This is a method of my madness. The reason why I do the freestyle stuff, one, if you ever have any cancellation or anything, the hotel can't hold that 1 or 2 days or hold your money, or, say if you cancel and they don't have, say if they say, "Okay, no refunds after May 1st," and something happens on May 2nd where your job is like, oh, you got to come in when I can give you the day off, or your dog dies or whatever, whatever situation, you can't go. Now, I mean, yeah, you could always get credit for the flight, but the hotel will probably end up taking your money. So I was just like, well, I'm gonna try to freestyle it. And the other reason why I wanted to check out what the hotel looked like, because a lot of those pictures, man, they don't be on point. They'll tell you, man, you got a private entrance. You don't got no private entrance. That's one thing I like actually going there and seeing, because on the website, a lot of these hotels lie. These motels or hotels, whatever, they lie. So I like to really go there and see for myself. And it was only 3 days, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna go see what it looks like. And I had a lot of my travel bros, criticize me like, man, you can't be just moving around with not having a designated place to stay. But it actually helped me out a lot. Doing that in Brazil, doing that in Tijuana, even doing that here, because now if I ever go back to San Salvador, which I said I probably would never go back, but I'm probably end up going back, because they have some other stuff that's I didn't touch on that I want to actually go and check up on. But the food is good. The people are hospitable. I'll say this: if you really want a genuine girlfriend, like no mongering, just a genuine girlfriend, I will say El Salvador is the perfect place to go, because the women, if they're single, it's not their fault. It's the man's fault. He either cheated so much, they gave him so many chances, he ran out of chances, so they left him, or he was beating on them or whatever. But a lot of the El Salvadoran women are really good, and that's me speaking from experience too, because I had an El Salvadoran girl in the States, and they're really great. Like, you treat them good, they'll take care of you and everything. Like, I would have to say, in Latin America, I know it sounds weird what I'm about to say, because everybody loves Brazil, but I want to say El Salvador women are one of the top as far as girlfriend. It's almost like having, if you want a girlfriend in Asia, one of the top is Filipino. El Salvador is like that too, because they really take care of you.
Okay. Thank you for that perspective. Yeah, again, a shout out to Philly Dom. Might reference him a couple of times in this, because I just had to interview him 2 weeks ago, and he was still in El Salvador when I was interviewing him. And he told me he'd been several times, and he told me on the show he has a main friend there, and you guys are pretty much saying the same thing. So it's like a double confirmation. So that's what's up. Yeah. Okay. We do have guys in the travel community who like to do a mixture of both. They like to monger, the pay for play, and some guys be looking for love and all the other places, and they like the boo love. They want that affection that they don't really quite get here in the States. So they take it overseas. So that's the option. Wow. Okay. That being said, you only had 3 days, sir. In your 3 days, how much affection did you get? Did you find like a possible main thing, or some kind of situation you can see growing to go back to, or was you like a butterfly floating around for those 3 days? What were you doing for those 3 days?
I want to say I was a little bit of both. I think I could have had the option of having a main, and even though she was a pro, and I'm gonna tell you with this one, this is what's so crazy. So, because I had a story about that on my channel too, with going to El Salvador. There was one of the casas, the casas, they have them for cheap. Now the women there, I ain't gonna lie, they're not top model. You're not gonna see you're not gonna see they're not gonna compete with Brazil, but the treatment is excellent. Like, there was one, she asked me to get her I think one beer, and you get her a beer, and how they do. You get them a beer, and they get a kickback out of it. Like, say if the beer is like $10, they'll get $5, and But the crazy thing about with her is, and this is, a lot of guys will probably say, "Oh man, she's a pro. Don't try to save her." But this is where I knew the chemistry was good with me and her. There was other chicks trying to tell her, like, "Oh, you should get him to get you another beer," like trying to rake me. because I already done, paid for the room and took care of my business with her. She was like, "Nah, I'm good. I don't need another beer." She could have easily pressured me another beer, but like, "Oh, give me." She's like, "Nah, I'm good. I don't need another beer." She told them to buzz off, like, "Yo, I'm good. Stop pressuring my boy." Now that's the good thing. Second thing, on my last day when I was with her, she was literally feeding me pupusas. That's like a little dish of the El Salvador, and I don't know if you ever had it. It's like basically it's like almost like a El Salvadorian. It's like, you ever had a cheesy bread? It's like a cheesy bread, El Salvadorian cheesy bread. You know what I mean? Like, so she was feeding me that, like, you know what I mean? Feeding me that and stuff, because she had some pupusas, and I asked her, could I have one, because I was starving. She could have easily been like, "Nah, give me some money for it." In DR, they would have been like, "Okay, give me some half of the money. Give me some money, Poppy."
For real.
But she was just like, "Okay, I'll give you some." She fed me and everything. And, she was literally, she was cool. But the only thing with that is, once you deal with one that likes you, I offered motherfuckers, whatever they wanted, they wouldn't budge. She basically put the word out like, "Yo, this is my man. Y'all can't mess with him." And I didn't know in El Salvador, even with the pros, once they start claiming you, they'll tell other girls, "Yo, buzz off." The other ones will be making excuses like, "Oh, I gotta go here." And they want to jump on you, but they gotta respect her because they don't want no problem. So, because there was one that was like, "Oh, I'm going to bed," and I'm like, "Wait, going to bed?" And the one I wanted, I'm not gonna lie, she was one of the best looking ones out of there. Now, the one I like, she had a cute face. I had better chemistry with her, but the other one, she had like little piercings in her cheeks. I really liked that one. I wanted to take that one down, but that one was rejecting me like, "Oh, I got to go to bed," and stuff like that. And I remember a lot of guys would be like, "Oh, maybe she ain't feeling you." I remember on the last day, the other ones were doing that. And I literally told that one that I was dealing with, I said, "Yo, did you put a word out that they can't mess with me?" She turned around, looked at me, and said, "Yep." I was like, wow. She admitted it. Like, "Yo, ain't none of them going to talk to you. I don't care. You can offer whatever you want. They ain't going to talk to you. You mine." I was like, wow. So, fellas, when you go to these casas, make sure, I know chemistry is the best thing ever, but make sure you get one that you really want, like, because at the end of the day, especially the real cheap casas, they start locking you in, and they tell the other ones like, "Yo, you like Big Boss go there, Big Boss go there, Big Boss go there." They have one chick on him. He's like, "Yo, I'm about to hit your friend." The friend's like, "Nah, I can't mess with you. I can't mess with you." And they'll make an excuse. That's the only bad thing about it. The good thing about it is, with the chick I had, I probably could have got some GFE for CheapSkateJake price, because that same one was like, "Oh, I'll go home with you for 100, 100 USD." They use United States dollars there, so you don't have to worry about the currency. Yeah, they use just USD. Look at Big Boss in the face. He's like,
so they use USD.
Yeah,
but just because they use it, is it expensive? I mean, they can use USD and something could cost $5, right? I mean, so is stuff expensive?
Now, it's crazy you made the face, because I made the same face when I found out. I was like, "Man, what did I get myself into when I first went to this country," when they told me about it. But what I found out is they use USD, but a lot of stuff is cheap. I'm going to tell you why. The drink that I bought that chick, so the drink was like $10. Well, I think I'm sorry, I'm lying. It was probably less than that. I don't know the price exactly, but I know they hit her off with like $5 or whatever. So it could have been $8. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not on the price of drinks, but they at least hooked her up with some money. When you buy her drink, they hooked her up with some. Now the drinks are cheap, and a lot of times when I was at the hotel, some of them girls were giving me beers for $1. Like, they ain't supposed to. The dollar, I mean, I know it's not a big deal. The drink's supposed to be probably the beer probably by like $2 or $3. The girls at the hotel would give me it for $1 because I was a nice guy, And they do have black El Salvadorans. Now, Big Boss, you gonna like that black El Salvadorans. Them motherfuckers, they like the best. I would say if you gonna wife up a chick, I know this sounds maybe racist to everybody, but you ain't the white El Salvadorans okay, but the black ones, that's the perfect wife. They got long black hair. They got a best attitude. Their attitude's so fucking good. You'll want to bring them back to the States because their attitude, man, you forget they're black because their attitude ain't like the average African American girl in the States. Like they cater to you. Like I'm not even gonna lie. There was one chick. Shout out to my mom. I know she don't let me mention. There was one chick, right? Her mom was working there, and my mom's black and Native American. Her mom had long, silky hair, and I used to call her mom my mom. I used to call her mom because I was like, and I showed her a picture. I was like, yo, you look just like my mom, like with the long hair, like your Native American and brown skin. She was like, oh, thank you. She hooked me up with drinks. That's my mom, my fantasy mama there. She hooked me up with those beers $1. Y'all better not fire. She hooking your boy. You know, she used to hook me up like, yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Huh? What'd you say?
I don't think they're gonna watch this show, so I think your mom won't get fired. Her job is safe.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you the black El Salvadoran women, they're really cool, laid back. You know, a lot of them are getting wifed up quick. Because the one I talked to, the one I was the mom's daughter, because she looked, you know, the mom was attractive. Like I said, she reminded me of my mom and stuff like that and whatever. The daughter, she had beautiful black hair. I'm probably, when I do a next video, I'm gonna probably put it out there and show the picture, the video, whatever her. But yeah, she's really pretty. Like, and she has a good heart. You know, you don't get no attitude, you don't get nothing. They're really, you know, that's like, I'll say this. I wouldn't be surprised if Philly Dom got a black El Salvadoran. If he did, shout out to him. I ain't even mad at him. Because they take care of you. Like, all this shit you get in the States is it's a 360. You get a black El Salvadoran.
180. I get it, though, yeah.
Yeah, 180. I want to say 360 because it's just night and day. Like, you deal with a Dominican chick, you're like, okay, she gets Americanized. But El Salvadoran black one, oh, my God. You be like, yo, I ain't gonna lie. If of my so-called El Salvadoran mom, if her daughter was single, I probably would have locked that in. Like, yo, I'm done mongering, fellas. I'm in like,
damn, I don't want to be a player no more. I'm not a player.
And they got the body too. Ain't like it's pancake. They got the body too. So it's not like, oh, you know, the most El Salvadoran, the Mexican type women that built like refrigerators, they got the body too. But they ain't stuck up with it. They're very humble. Like, I had one that seen me walking down the street and was like, yo, where you going? And I used to go to a spot that was like, it was like a walk for like 10 minutes. I was like, oh, I'm going to get some pupusas. She was like, where you going? And I told her. She's like, oh, what are you doing? You're going too far. There's one down the street. It was 2 minutes away, big boss. I'm feeling like an idiot. Like, damn, I'm walking 10 minutes away. There's 2 minutes down the street. And she walked with me, made sure I was good. Even when I was eating, she was like, yo, you good? I'll wait here till you're finished and walk you back to your hotel so you know where to go. And I said, oh, no, I remember. I'm good.
Man, she would have to come upstairs to the hotel. That's what she would have to do.
Huh? What'd you say?
She would have had to. I'm good. And she walked me back to the hotel, or she would have had to come upstairs to the room. Hey, make sure I'm good. Hey, after the pupusas, I need a massage. Can you give me a massage? Hey, I'm Bossy Boss, man. Bossy Boss is run out. Okay.
But I will say this: the black El Salvadorans, as far as any brothers that really want to go and get, how do you say it? Like that Brazilian feel, like how the Afro Brazilians are. I would say the ones that's closest to that is probably El Salvador, because they really embrace. They're like, and you know, when I showed them a picture, you know, I told you, big boss, my mom's your complexion. I showed a picture of my mom. Yo, they embraced me. I was getting $3 beers for $1. You know what I mean? I was in like Flint. Like they're like, oh yeah, they're like, oh, we shouldn't really do this, but here, give me $1, I got you. You know what I mean?
So when you was there, how many different classes did you go to, or do you hit up the same one every day? You kept going back to your same one.
I did a couple different ones. Now I will say the Hunters Club that I have on my page. So shout out to Aaron Taylor. He put me on to that.
Okay.
Different strokes for different folks. There's a lot of Colombian women in the Hunters Club. So all you guys going out there, the Hunters Club, I would not suggest going out there. I mean, I'm not going to say the women look like trash, but think about it, Big Boss. If you go into DR, you want a Dominican chick, right? You ain't going to go to DR to get a Mexican chick. When you go to Hunters Club, you get nothing but Colombians. And I don't know about your experience, but every time I dealt with a Colombian girl outside our country, she rushed you. She has an attitude.
Oh, wow.
You ain't getting the same. You ain't getting the same feeling. That's how I experienced. You know what I mean? So a lot of the Colombian ones in Hunter Club, they were acting stuck up, standoffish. And at that club, when you go there, it's weird. I'm gonna tell you this: it's weird, right? You go in there, the one that's dancing, you can't even do nothing with.
Okay.
But the ones on the wall, you could bring them to the back room. That's weird. Like you would think the one on the dance floor, on the ones dancing, that get you going, get your juices flowing. You're like, okay, I want to bring you to the room. She's like, nah, I'm only dancing. What? You know what I mean? And they be looking bad too. Like the ones that dance are looking real good.
Right.
But it's like you get to that level, you can't do it.
You got to pay more for them. Maybe you think.
Nah. I'll be honest with you. I talked to one of the girls because she actually spoke English. And one thing I'll say about El Salvador is because a lot of people speak English that can help you. Okay. She was actually El Salvadoran, and I tried to holler at her because I was like, man, you got a cool personality. You speak English. Let me just fuck with you. But she's like, nah, I'm a dancer. I was like, well, wait, what does that mean? She's like, no. You can't do nothing to me. The girls on the wall that's sitting at the wall, you get them. You can't do nothing to the dancers. That we don't do nothing. Like she was just straight blunt like that. I was like, wow. And then I was out. Now I will say this: in the Hunters Club, there are some stunners. There was a light skin, almost white Colombian with blonde hair that was a stunner that I wanted, and she was turning me down, but not because she wasn't feeling me, because she already had an appointment. Like she had him on clockwork. Like she had a dude that like it's 10:50. It's like 10:55. He's supposed to come at 11. She's like, nah, I ain't messing with you. I got somebody in 5 minutes. You gonna have to wait your turn. Right. So that one, I had to wait for her. But at Hunter Club, you can get a stunner, but they're all Colombian. So you're not gonna get that same El Salvador GFE. You know what I mean? You're just going to get from a Colombian that's in another country. Now, I will say this, also too, when you throw up the money to the dancers on the stage, if you guys are into that, the strip club, make it rain lifestyle.
I hope not. I hope not. Travel bro.
Here's a safe way you could do it.
We don't do that. We don't make it rain. We don't bring Matrix. We don't bring Matrix overseas. We escape the Matrix.
Some people do.
Matrix. We don't want to bring toxic Americanism and mess up a whole nother place. I hope not. But finish your statement.
Yeah. I was going to say, so what they do is it's weird. They'll take your money, right? Say if you have, perfect example. Say if you have $20 in ones, like your boy, I had $20 in ones. They'll take that and give you 100 plastic cards. Like it'll be 20, and it'll be like $100 plastic cards, but it'll be 20 of those. You throw them on stage, and basically the money doesn't touch the girl. I don't know if it's because of pandemic or whatever, but you do that if you want to do that crap. But yeah. So if you want to make it rain, you do plastic.
It's almost like token. It's almost like token. It's just card. Yeah, exactly. You use the real money for their form of whatever, and you throw that, you simulate wow.
Yeah.
But it's a real,
me and Big Boss don't do that.
It's a real 20 USD, and you get a fake 100 like plastic card.
Yeah, you get 20 of those. because each
so you get
dollar
20 of them?
represents 100
So
US.
it's $1 for $1?
Yeah. So basically, when you got $20, say if you give them $20 and you want to throw $20 at her, $20 worth of ones, they'll give you 20, 100 fake $100 bills, and they're plastic. They're laminated. And you just throw them to the girl and stuff or whatever. Give the girl it. Now, me and Big Boss don't do that. I'll be honest with you, CheapSkateJake, I spare about $10 on the chick. That's all I could do. That's all I could do. You know what I mean? And that was it. I only did $10, and I was like, all right, I'm keeping the rest 10. I was like, I looked at the guy. He was like, oh, you come back? I was like, yeah, I just got to go do something. And I was like, oh, it's all Colombian women? Now I'm going to take this other $10, mix it with another $10, put 5, and go see my people at the casa with nothing but El Salvadorans. But they have a casa I went to. They had some decent looking ones, and you know, you had a good experience with that. You know, they didn't rush you. You know, so as far as if you want to do casas, I'll say this: any guy that wants to do casas, if you're a monger, El Salvador is the perfect place. Like, the casas are perfect. You know what I mean? Because you can just hit them. They're affordable. It's dirt cheap. I mean, $25 for 30 minutes. What the? You know what I mean? Like, and the one I had, she didn't rush me. You know, she was just like, you know, she had the time or whatever, and she didn't rush me or whatever. So it was good. But you know, like I said, a lot of them, they, you know, if you need to get something, you know, like a Uber or whatever, like I do the little Wi-Fi thing, whatever. You know, a lot of people want to say, why don't you have international services, whatever? CheapSkateJake, I got Cricket, whatever. Yo, the DJ that was there, he was like, yo, I'll call you an Uber on my phone, and you just have to give him cash or whatever. He called the Uber, had him bring me, and he's like, where you going? He took care of me. So El Salvador will take care of you. That's one thing. As far as hospitality, they are ranked up there. Like almost, I want to actually put them, people say, would you put them with Brazil? I would put them more like Philippines. And the reason why is because the women don't have the best bodies, but they got good hearts. That's why I put them at. Like, it's like a Latin America, Philippines.
Wow. So how many casas did you hit? 2 or 3?
I want to say, so I hit Hunter's Club, and I hit the other one. There was one I hit. Oh, that was a strip club. I can't even count that. I hit Hunter's. Well, yeah, Hunter's Club wasn't even. Well, Hunter's Club was a strip club, so I'll say I hit two casas and 2 strip clubs. Yeah.
Oh, 2
so
and
4
2.
altogether. As far as National Pro 4.
So
Yeah, I didn't want to.
Hunter's Club is more of a strip club than a casa.
Yeah, so Hunter's Club is more like the average strip club where you could throw money, and if you want to get a girl, you do a room. Now, I ain't gonna lie, Hunter's Club is affordable for all y'all guys. If y'all like, oh, Mulano, I don't really care if she's Portuguese, Vietnamese, whatever. If she look good, I'm gonna tear her up for $40. Listen, where's she at? Yeah, 40 USD. I think it's 40 USD for a half an hour or 40 minutes, whatever.
Okay.
You good. So you could go to Hunter's Club, but if I'm in El Salvador, I'm not going to try to be messing with Colombian because it's like, it's weird to me. Like, I'm like, what the hell? I could have went to Colombia. You know what I mean?
Right. So Hunter's Club is about $40, but the one that you like to go to, the casa that you preferred, is about $25. Got it.
And that's Cherry's Bar for all the fellas out there. Cherry's Bar. That's what it's called. Cherry's Bar. I got cherry, the fruit. Yeah.
Cherry.
That one, they got them CheapSkateJake prices. That's like $25 a half an hour. Sheesh. Oh my God.
Can't go wrong.
Definitely can't go.
For the 25, so of course, everything covered. Could you talk to him for the oral part to not be covered?
Okay.
Side, or you just got to deal with it.
Okay, now I'm gonna be honest with you. It's crazy you said that because the 2 casas I went to was so weird. Is the one I went to that's famous is the Cherry's Bar. You know, that stays open late. Okay. But the casa during the day I went to, I forgot the name of that one. I think it's Erotica, something like that. That one, she didn't do no covered. I mean, she didn't do covered BJ. She was like asking me if I want to do it, and I was like,
hey.
yeah. She was like, "Yo, if you want me to do cover and all," I said, "Oh, nah, it's up to you." She's like, "Oh, you seem clean. I'm good. Okay, I'll touch you."
And same price, right? No upcharge.
Yeah, I think that one. I want to say, I think that one was $30. I'm sorry, $30 fast.
Okay,
30, not too bad. $5 more, whatever. You know what I mean?
You're right. But the other one, the Cherries bar, is normally 25, and that's covered for the BJ normally.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you gotta remember, cherry bar. That a lot of them girls are skinny and they don't have like the body brothers want. Like the one I went to, that girl was light skinned. That girl was almost like a white El Salvadoran, but she had a curvy body. So that's the $5 was worth it. You know what I mean?
Right. So I'm going back to when you said I guess it must have been a cherry bar, the $25. The chick that you vibe with, that you had already done your thing with, you bought her a beer, and she put out the word for the other girls to back off. That was at Cherry's bar, right?
Yep.
Okay, so how come when she put the word out and basically kind of player hated or cop blocked on you, how come you just didn't go to the other places where she wasn't at?
Yeah. So with that, the only thing I'll say this is a lot of the casas that you got, a lot of them are open during the day. Not a lot of them are open at night. So that was one of the ones that was open. That's open till I want to say 10, 11 o'clock at night. So that's why it was hard for me just to jump to another one. So I was like, oh, fuck. I'm like, I was thinking like you, big boss. I was like, man, I wish I could have just went, but I know with the other casa I did, because even shout out to Aaron Taylor, he told me, he was like, man, you got to go to these casas early. The ones that are really good actually close early. The only one that really stays open is really, Cherry Bar, or if you want to go to the strip club with the other ones, right? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I went to an early one, and, that casa was good. They had drinks, the chicks looked right, but like I said, they close. I think they close at like 7 p.m. or whatever, 7 p.m. So
what about going to the day casa? Because Brazil got a lot of day casas, especially in the downtown area, Central. What about going to the day casas and hooking up with chicks, right? But getting phone numbers, getting WhatsApps, and having them come through when they get off work on their own time to your hotel. You ever thought about that?
What's so funny, big boss? I wish I would have thought about that. I should have did that, because if I would have got some of them, I could have had them come back to the house. Come back to the crib and been good. Because there was one, she was a black El Salvadoran. She was cool as hell. I didn't even bring her to her room, but I could tell her whole vibe. She was cool, like,
she was weird. What kind of monger are you? That's what we be on. We go to the casas to get it in, and we scout talent. We scout talent at the casas and get the WhatsApps for later. Get the WhatsApps and have them come back to the room at the casas, man.
Yeah.
Ay. Okay. Another thing where I think you messed up too at the Cherry Bar, and the chick, did she kind of put her claim on you, her tramp stamp on you? You probably messed around and boo loved at the casa. You should have been a butterfly at the casa. You probably being cheap, saving money. You should have hit her as soon as you came out. Hit another one. I should have did that. But you hit her and you come out and your afterglow. Your afterglow is sex, right? After the deed, and you sit down and you vibing and you chilling and you buy her a drink afterwards. You kind of slowly building the bond. Soon as you hit her, you should have came out, reloaded, like, half hour. Hey, I want you. It would have been hard for her to put them clamps on you, because even in that space, you'd have went bing, bing, bing. Man, that's what robot mongering is. Big boss, it's a robot mongering. I don't do none of this emotional, fluffy stuff. I travel to bust it up.
Hey, I should have kept my head away from her when she started rubbing my head and like a dog and everything. I started wagging my tail.
For her, but she's sharp. Shout out to her. For her, that's part of the game. She puts her hooks into you.
And now I'm a hook, line, and sinker.
She might like you. Maybe it's a connection. I'm not saying it's not that, but even with that, in addition with that, she's making sure she's the only one in your pocket. No other chick. She has no competition for your wallet. Fuck all that, man. I smash her out. It's good. I come out. I rest up. I'm reloaded. Hey, I want you.
Loaded.
I want you. Now she'll be sitting there looking kind of stupid, trying to put claims on you. And the girl said, "Hold on, chick, you ain't the only one. Soon as he finished with you, he took me. Soon as he finished with you, he rested up, washed his little Peter off in the sink, and he got me." That's what happens when you guys boo love. When you boo love, Big Boss is hardcore mom. I digress. But
you know, I should have never had to rub my head. When she started stroking my head, I was like a dog wagging my tail.
You sharp. Hey, shout out to her, man. She did it. So how many sessions did you have with her over the couple of days? Like twice, 2 or 3 times?
Yeah, two, at least 2. Yeah,
2 times. That's what's up. 2 times at the Cherry Bar.
Because I remember there was another bar. It was called the Cabaret, and I had one that was similar like her, but this one that was similar like her is on my video. It's the one that blocked me. She was actually El Salvadoran Colombian, and that motherfucker was stroking my head and everything. And I ain't gonna lie, motherfucker's gonna be like, "Oh, you sipping, Mulano?" I didn't even give a fuck about hitting it. That motherfucker stroked my head. I was like, "Oh, buy my girl another drink." I don't even give a fuck. Like that shit was feeling so good. That was like a massage.
You know what though? I'm not even gonna hold you on that one. It is a thing, right? And I get it. Unfortunately, in America, now it's my rant time. My commercial for my rant. In America, not 100%, not all, but a lot. The women in here in the States, they are not very feminine. They are not very comforting. They are masculine, and they most of the time they want you to cater to them and rub their feet and all that stuff. Which a fair exchange is no robbery. So I get it. Some guys, needing or wanting that feminine touch, they go overseas to get what they can't get here. You know, so they go and it makes him very susceptible, to fall into that, because a lot of times, mongering or not, a lot of guys want that feminine touch. They want some kind of connection. And of course, me, Big Boss, part of me wants to, yell at him like a coach and bench him. But I do understand. I used to be young. I'm just old hardened. I'm an old hardened warmonger, man.
Yeah.
So I'm the one to talk about mongering. But I also understand, especially a lot of the younger guys, they're looking for that feminine touch. So I get it, man. It's bewitching. And it's too bad that you can't find more of it here to say. Not saying that you cannot 100%. I'm not saying that, but it is few and in between. Shout out to No Excuse. I was on his channel this last weekend, and then he came on my channel on Double Header, and he talked about briefly about him being married, what caused him to get married, and shout out to him, he married a Colombian chick and stuff like that. One thing he said was some bars. He said, "Boss, when I married into the culture more so than a woman. I didn't really marry the woman as much as I married the culture. The whole culture is more wholesome." I'm like, wow. Even we talking Colombia, not so much El Salvadorian, it's still not American. It's still not Matrix. It's still not westernized feminist culture. He said, "I married the culture." So unfortunately, we do have some good women in America. We do have a few, but our culture is not conducive, in my opinion, to a healthy nuclear relationship. And so that's why a lot of men use this blue passport that Razor Ray's calls the Thanos Infinity Stone, the blue stone, to travel overseas. So wow, man. My rant over.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I ain't gonna lie. There was one girl from Brooklyn. She was like, she told me, "Nigga, I ain't gonna fucking massage your head. You better massage your own fucking head." Like, I was
Yeah,
like, wow, you know, Brooklyn women.
that sounds Matrix, and that sounds New Yorkish, from what I hear.
Yeah.
Wow. I ain't going to say. Matter of fact, you better rub my feet. You better rub my feet.
Yo, and it's so crazy. I've had women here that do that. They'll like rub my head or whatever. But the reason why they doing it, I don't honestly think they actually do it. I think they're like, oh, because they find I have traveled. Excuse me. They're like, oh, I got to compete with these chicks overseas. Let me get my claws in Mulano, because once he goes overseas, he's gonna forget about me. So let me try to make up to what they do.
You know, speak on that. You know, there's so many benefits and downstream benefits to traveling. I come across that scenario too, believe it or not, that phenomenon when women find out you travel, you are elevated in their eyes to a higher status, right?
Yeah.
And they know that, you know, deep down, whether they want to come out and admit it openly, they know deep down that now your eyes, you have exposed, you are awakened, you are aware. They know they have competition. So a lot of times, a lot of brothers, and I can say this happened to me too. Since I've been traveling, I'm not going to say I've been bougie. You know, boss is bougie on American chicks, but it is what it is. Once you expose, once you go to even the DR or Colombia, especially Brazil, once you get out there and you get back, you look, you know, you do the compare and contrast. What you say to 180, I don't have to put up with your stuff. I got options.
Yep.
Now, my money might not be the point. I can't go there every other week, but if I work hard enough and I plan everything out, I can go out there often enough to whereas I can get it in. And when I'm here in the States, I might just work 2 jobs. I just might work some overtime. I might work some double shifts. Or if I'm also a content creator doing YouTube, or if I'm a web designer, I get down to my craft, or if I'm really deep off into fitness, I just work it at the gym and go to work. I kind of stay out the streets as much as possible. I go to the club less as possible, if at all. Go out to the bars less as possible, if at all. So yes, traveling as a man. Once you start traveling, you get this passport, and then American matrix chicks find out that you are a traveler. Oh, you are actually elevating their eyes because they know they have competition. And I'm like, you goddamn right. I don't have to put up with your bullshit. I can go hop on a flight. I catch flights, not feelings.
I like that phrase. Yeah, because I remember, I don't know, a lot of guys told me this. They was like, man, one thing they gotta give me respect for is they said I actually brought my father to Sosua with me.
Yeah,
and man, when I brought him to Sosua, man, when he came back, the chick that was giving him problems, the younger chick, oh, she was cooking, cleaning. She had competition. He's like, bitch, if you don't act right, I'll go on that flight with my son, and I'll get chicks that will literally do all that for nothing and not even expect them, and show me love. Boom. That motherfucker was doing whatever to get my pops's stamp on it. Like, boom. Oh, I'll cook you, y'all do that. Because they had competition.
Case in point. That right there. Yeah, I remember you did tell me that when you came on my show last time. You told me that story. Yeah, it's coming back to me. Exactly.
He was happy he went.
Huh?
My pops was happy he went because he was like, yo, now the chick that used to talk shit, saying she ain't gonna cook for me, she ain't gonna do that. That motherfucker cleaning my house, cooking for me, trying to make sure I don't ever go with you to DR. But but before he passed away, he was supposed to actually go with me to Philippines. I swear to God, if that man would have went to Philippines, his job would have been pissed with me. He might have retired there. He might have retired in Philippines because he was a civil engineer.
He'd have lost his mind. He would have lost his mind. Philippines. Now I haven't even been to the Philippines. I've been to Thailand, and even though since I have been to Thailand, and the people who've been to both, the people who've been to Philippines and Thailand, they tell me the similarities. And since I did the Thailand, I can really, really see the Philippines. And from what I understand, everyone's saying that Philippines is also turned up, it's also lit, but Philippines have a very big GFE, submissive catering culture.
Exactly. Yeah, it's addictive, man, because I had one. You can actually, and it's go crazy because a lot of guys maybe they have problems with getting a girlfriend in the States. Even if you're shy or you're introvert, you can actually get a girlfriend in the Philippines. I ended up having one, and that motherfucker, she ended up still. And I know this sounds messed up, but I kind of cheated on her with a pro. She still looked out for me after that. Like, okay, I know you, but best believe she brought my ass to the medical to make sure I had no STDs because condoms wasn't in the picture. So she's like, okay, you messing with a pro, I gotta make sure you clean. I'm like, yo, I use the condom with a pro. She's like, well, if you lie to me about a pro, I can't trust that. We gotta go to Clint, make sure. And yeah, she was cool. You know what I mean? Like the Filipino women are like one of the top of line wives, I want to say. Because they know how to speak English. They treat you good. There's a guy I delivered to, man. This motherfucker spent $20,000 to get this Filipino girl he had that he was talking to. He married. He went to I don't know if he went to her country, but he got with her. He spent time with her, and he got her to the States. And this lady told him, I care about you. I know you want to go out. But listen, I'll go to the store and get you beer if you want to drink. I don't want you going out there because I don't know what's going to happen to you. You might be in danger. I don't want anything to happen to you. If you want to drink in the house, that's fine. I just want to make sure you're safe. That is the perfect wife. The lady doesn't even want you going out because she cares about your health. She will buy you beer, liquor, whatever you want to get right just to make sure you're safe. And he don't even drink that much because he's like, oh, I'm trying to get off of it. But he said she makes sure if he's going to drink, he drinks in the house. So if he's outside, he's not in danger.
And this is here in the States? Huh? This is here in the States. Was she got her back to the States or over there?
Yeah. I actually delivered to him. And it was crazy because my supervisor got mad at me. He was like, damn, Mulano. Whole conversation with this. I was on the side. He was like, yeah. And
damn, your audio picked the time to start messing up. Your audio picked the time to start messing up. Yeah, the last I heard when you telling me when I asked you that question, you said, yeah, I delivered to him. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, so you delivered to him and your manager was like,
yeah, I delivered to him and my manager was like, damn, Mulano, you took all that time. You took like 15, 20 minutes to come back from the delivery. And that's because we had a deep conversation, like, because I was like, yeah, I travel to Philippines and all that. He was like, man, he said, I haven't really, so he didn't go to, I think he visited to Philippines. I don't know how his situation was, but he said, like, he basically got her over here and he said it was the best thing ever. Like, at the house, when she's at the house, he has a trailer or whatever. And, a lot of people look down on trailers, but trailers like nice. He has almost like a house.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey.
And he basically has to live there. She doesn't want him going out to the bars or anything because she's worried about his safety. If he gets in a fight, get arrested. So she will literally go out. When she goes out to the store for him, she will get whatever he wants to make sure he's home so he's safe. She doesn't care about it. She literally told me, I trust him. I know he's not going to cheat on me, but I don't want him to be outside drinking because I'm not there to watch over him. So I bring him beer so he stays home and I can watch over him. That's a perfect wife, dude. That's a perfect wife.
I still think some of it is she can keep an eye on him, make sure he don't have no wandering eye. But but even that being the case, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Even if that's being the case. So
Yeah. And this is the white dude who has a trailer in Franklinton, North Carolina, and it's like, yeah, he was like, he loves he loves the fact that she's caring for him. He said he was his best decision ever because he said, man, he literally told me he's like a country dude. He was like, man, these women in the States ain't worth shit. He said the women in the States, they wouldn't give a damn what I'm doing. They wouldn't care if I'm out drinking. All they would do is bitch and complain. He said, this lady actually cares for me. She wants to make sure I'm safe. He was like, yeah, she, she goes shopping for him, whatever. But he said he actually is happy. He used to be a full-blown, he told me he used to be a full-blown, like, a alcoholic wino. He said he'll probably have 1 or 2 beers a day, and that's it. He used to be drinking heavily, but he said now he's happy. He doesn't drink that much. He's happy with her. She cooks, cleans for him, whatever, and he's happy. Like that's why I said with the Filipino women, they really bring you to a level where you're content because they're all about family, a lot of them. You know what I mean?
Right. Especially well, shout out to her, especially when it works, right? But you do hear the horror stories. You hear the horror stories, and to be honest, I can't even sit here and say the ratio if it's more or less minimal. But you hear the horror stories of a lot of different ethnicities, foreign women, but even Filipinos. You bring them over here. You go through the whole motion of bringing a foreign woman over, getting the green card, citizenship, marriage. And basically, after they get acclimated to American life, they divorce you and all this kind of stuff. So it's good to hear when it works. And like I say, I'm not even going to sit here and act like I know the ratio if it's small or big. But what they say, bad news travel around the world before good news get across the street. Yeah. So you always hear the negative. You hear about, man, I brought her over here to the States 6 months to a year after her being over here. She left me and blah, 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 blah. So it's good to hear that when the foreign women come over here, that they remain faithful and hold it down. So shout out to her.
I'll say this, man. One thing I would like to say one thing about, I know one type of woman that probably wouldn't leave a guy, and even though it's expensive, Japanese women, I know they're not big on leaving guys. That's like my type, the Japanese women. But I would be with a Filipino, but Japanese women, I don't know what it is about them, but I love the Japanese women. I know with them, they're not going to just leave you like that because they make so much money in Japan. They really don't need you. You know what I mean? Right. Like,
they really don't need you.
Yeah.
We're not again.
But, yeah. Yeah, but that dude was really, he looked like he was really happy in his situation, and I was happy for him because he was like a country guy, and I was like, man, this motherfucker that's in travel, he already get a wife, and it just says something about, the whole, like you said, the Matrix mentality, like, you got a dude in the country, he don't want to deal with the country girls, he want to go out and get a wife in the Philippines. So something must be going on with these women ain't treat them right.
Yeah, well, you know what, shout out to Kevin Samuels, and it really don't take the Kevin Samuels show to see this because we see this for ourselves. Nowadays, a lot of the modern women in America, they have such high standards. They want every guy to make over 6 figures, 100,000 and better. Or now, there's even a video out. Some girl was saying that even 100,000 now is broke. The guy has to make close to 200,000. So you have all these high standards and high expectations where even in America, the average wage is about 50 to 60K for a man. Yeah. Average. Now, you got guys who make 70, 80, 100 and all this kind of stuff, but the average is about, 55, 60K-ish. But the women, they want every man to make 100 plus. He has to make 100 plus. So they're kind of not in reality. And so for a shout out for the guys who are really, top of their game, the guys who are making 6 figures and higher, shout out to them. But there's still not a lot of them for us the whole country. So now you have most of the women chasing a small group of men. What about everybody else? What about the regular average guy who go to work every day and it's a good guy? What about the regular guy, the average guy? A lot of the average guys are being kicked to the side because a lot of the chicks are chasing the few at the top. So a man got to do what he got to do. So you can't be mad at a man that's going to look out for his own best self-interest and say, you know what? If the American woman don't want me because I make 60K or 70K and it's not 100K, I make 50 or 60, I don't make 100 and she don't want me. Well, guess what? I make enough, especially if I manage my money a certain way. I make enough to be able to travel to start some relationships and get with a woman in another culture who's going to appreciate my 50, 60K. Well, my 50,
Yeah.
60K will go a long way.
Yeah. Because even with that guy, now, not saying he's doing, I don't know if he's doing, I don't know if he's doing it or not. But say if he was like, okay, I got this chick over here. You know what? I'm going to send her family like $100, $200 a month just to take care of them. Even if he does, you know, he's still saving more money because, you know, even when he goes over,
right?
Huh?
Yeah. Even with that, even if he was to do that tacked on, that's still pennies on the dollar. And guess what? She would be even more appreciative. It's like they are. A lot of these women and from the other countries are, at least it's a big word that men have a big thing with, is gratitude and appreciation. Most guys are workers or hard workers or providers. We're built for it. We don't have a problem with it. But damn it, appreciate it. Say thank you. Say thank you with your words. Say thank you with your actions. I'm not going out there bringing home the bacon and working so you can have an attitude. So I'm going out there to bust my ass and work to come home to an attitude. Can you show appreciation? Well, you better do that. You should have did that. That's it. That's all. Just today at my job I was doing today, talking with a fellow officer. He was saying his wife, he's married, right? And he told me, he said his wife already be getting on his helmet. You need to do something more, you need to do something better. You need to bring in more money. You need to step it up. I'm like, wow. Now that's his wife, you know, and I'm just sitting there, I'm listening to him, right? And that's not my place. I'm listening. But you know me in my travel mind, taking it all in. Inside, I'm just like, oh,
you're learning what not to do. What not to do.
He was sharing with me today. His wife was like, you need to step it up. You need more money and blah 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 and blah blah. I said, wow. First of all, can you be appreciative for what I'm doing? Can you appreciate that? Wow.
I thought when you married for rich or poor.
Wow. Well, again, the culture. It probably used to be like that in the 1950s and 1960s, but nowadays we are into an era now. Nowadays, the modern woman, the modern American or Westernized woman, have a whole different mind frame, and so a lot of guys are checking out, man. A lot of guys are checking out, and you can't put all the blame on the men, right? So
it's funny you said that, Big Boss, because the guy, I think he said he did construction or landscaping. He makes 60 or 70,000 a year, and look how happy he is. Like he don't have to bring in extra money. The wife cares. The Filipino wife cares for him. She ain't being ungrateful. She's more worried about his safety than anything. She don't even care about the money. She's worried about the safety. like, yeah, make sure if you're gonna drink, stay in the house. And you know what she even told me? She said, I said, well, he might want to go to a bar to drink with his friends. You know what she literally told me? If he wants, he can bring his friends over and they can party and whatever. I just want him safe. That's all she said. She was like, his friends can come over and drink. I just want to make sure he's safe. If anything happens to him, I want to be sure I'm there so I can make sure he's safe. If he wants to drink with his friends, they can come over. It's one, cheaper on him, and two, it's safer.
Right. Well, that's cool, but I mean, on that, I mean, that's cool that she said that. But then again, I'm gonna also push back and say he should be able to say that anyway. Mm-hmm. Again, we're alpha men over here anyway. If it's my fucking trailer, in my house, and you're my wife, I can bring my friends over if I want to. But not to get all big boss mode. That's still cool that she has a mind frame. All right, well, moving off of her, shout out to her, and that situation works for this guy that you delivered to. Back to travels to move this conversation along. Thanks for sharing that. So since we talking Philippines, I haven't been. You been to Philippines? I know you've been to Thailand.
Twice.
You been to Philippines? Huh?
Yep, I've been to Angeles City and Manila.
Oh wow. Yeah. So I have a buddy of mine, actually a co-worker. who's in my travel group now, but I know him like in real life. We used to work together. Even he knew Big Boss before Big Boss was Big Boss with a passport. And he been going to the Philippines for literally 15 years. He goes at least twice a year for 15 years. So he's been to the Philippines about 30-ish times. He loves it to death. And he was going to the Philippines before I even had my passport. And I remember we would be at work. We used to work a job site together. And every few months, he'd be going to the Philippines for a few weeks. He'll come back, show me the pictures and this and that and the third. So it's funny, full circle now. I'm a traveler, but I still have not yet to go to the Philippines. You know the route I went. I went Dominican Republic, Colombia, Brazil, and I went to Thailand. But I do want to make it to the Philippines.
What made you not want to go to the Philippines?
Well, for the most part, the long flight, like similar to the Thailand, the long flight and the stereotype, or I don't know if it's so much a stereotype because it is kind of true-ish also, that I wasn't I'm still not into super duper into Asian type women like that. You know, I still like Afro sisters, Afro Latinas, thicker.
They got Afro Filipinos too. You know that, right?
Yeah, I heard of that. Especially the mixture.
Now they're really down to earth because I talked to one and I remember I said something and it was basic, but I was just like, oh yeah, I remember she said, oh, I probably fell off. I don't think you like me. And I said, you always have a cute face because you have a beautiful personality. That motherfucker was hitting me up every day, like talking to me. Oh, you made my day. You're a nice guy. And that's when the pandemic hit, so I could never go back. But yeah, the Afro Filipinos, they're really down to earth. They're really fun because they're down to earth. They want to have fun. They want to go out, have fun. And, you know, she never asked me for money. That's the crazy thing. Never asked me. She probably could have tried to shoot her, and she never did. She never asked me for $1.
Right. So, you said that she said she probably fell off. What you mean physically? Like she gained weight? Like,
well, I think with her, you know how Filipino women are. They're like, oh, if I gain weight, I'm fat. But really, all that went big in her was like a little bit of her thighs and her butt. But you know, they want to be skinny in that area. So you know, in Whammy area in the Philippines, like you're attractive if you're skinny. You know, if you gain weight,
normally that's what that is. They want to be more attractive because I noticed that, and seasoned Thailand travelers told me kind of same thing, that you know it is what it is, like a hierarchy, right? Like the white guys, the white Europeans, the white Australians, the white Americans, the white guys tend to like them smaller, and so a lot of the women want to be smaller for the white guys, and so the ones that are thicker for whatever reason, you know, go for the black guys because they know black guys, we like the thickness. So,
well, it's funny, Big Boss, when you said that. It's funny you said that because I was in Angeles City and there was one. She was tall and thick. She had a booty, and she was like, I was like, oh, you know how, you know, I was like, oh, I said a lot of the brothers must be on you. She was like, no, and she, you know, she don't know I'm mixed, but she's like, no, I don't like them. They hurt. They tear me up. She's like, but dude, her body was like hourglass as a Filipina. She had the height, she had the curves, everything. She was like, yeah, they tear my ass up, and she's like, I can't take it. So you know, a lot of them, you know,
be going hard sometimes. They don't know. They don't know how to pull back. They just go all gusto.
All gusto.
Oh yeah, man. Messing it up. She see my big ass. She was like, no, damn, damn. Oh man, yeah. So you've been to Philippines 3 times, and you've been to Thailand.
No, twice. I've been to Philippines twice. I've been to Thailand twice. Philippines, I've been to Angeles City, and then I've been to Manila. Manila's cool. I had some good situations. It's so crazy because, you know, I don't know if you tell your mom you travel and stuff, but with my mom, she's like, oh, you going with friends? And the only person she knows is my best friend. You know, shout out to him. He got my travel cherry popped. He put me on to Sasua and DR and stuff. But she's like, if you ain't going with your boy, you know, yeah, it could be dangerous. But how I move and stuff like that, and you know, with the travel community, and when I was on YouTube, this one dude I knew, and he looked out for me in Manila, Philippines. And man, it was a crazy time. Like that dude, shout out to Cody, man. He's mad cool, man. That motherfucker knows how to speak the Filipino language fluently. This motherfucker curse women out in their language, and they looking at him 10 head like a brother knows how to speak my language that good and cursing me out. They don't know how to act. They don't know how to do that.
Wow.
Yeah. And what's so crazy is it's so funny because they look at Cody as, oh, Cody can be an asshole. But there's women that I knew one girl, she was a waitress. She was like, I was like, you have a boyfriend? You know, I wasn't trying to hit on her because I already had a girl, but we were talking about, does she have a boyfriend because she looked all lonely? She was like, no, I really like Cody, but I don't think he likes me. Like, them motherfuckers like that because they're like, oh, I need a man to stay in charge and protect me and have that I don't give a shit attitude. And not that he was an asshole, he just didn't take no shit. You know what I mean? He was like, your attitude, boss. He ain't taking no shit. Like, if we all eating chicken wings and the Arabs pay for it, bitch, you ain't gonna come over here and just eat the food. We invite you. Like, you ain't eating other food. And there was some chicks that did it at the bar. Like, they come and eat the food because it's free. Because, you know, the Arabs, they got that oil money. They got the wing for, and then he's like, yeah, you ain't eating this shit. And he cursed her out in her Philippine language.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Some of these races be kind of spoiling these chicks. The Koreans and the Japanese, you know, they got that money, they got that bread. And a lot of what I've been hearing, even within that Asian culture, whether it's South Korean or Japanese or whatever, that they like to save face. It's all about honor and saving face and all this other kind of stuff. So brothers like, man, forget that saving face. You got me messed up. Bitch, you didn't put on this man. You didn't put on this man.
Yeah, because the Arabs, they be in Philippines heavy, and they'll spend money. And you know, one thing my boy Cody told me, he was like, you gotta, if they buy you, if an Arab buys you a drink or food, you gotta accept it, even if you full, just chew on the food, whatever, because they look at the insult if you don't eat their food or drink their drink. And they used to pay for it. And, you know, some of the little stragglers, they'll come and try to get that free food. They ain't even invited to a party. It could be me and Big Boss and my girl and Big Boss girl and then the Arabs. And you got the straggler coming over trying to get some chicken wings. And we like, wait, hold, what you doing?
Not going to happen.
Cody going to come through and check her in her own language. Like, get your fucking ass out of here. Go and sell your box.
In Tagalog, and Boss would check her in English. And my bitch, I go full too short on her ass. Full too short, my Oakland E. Bitch, get the hell out of here. Or you sit your ass down, you coming back to the room, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up. So Philippines and Thailand. Which one?
What'd you say?
Philippines, I mean, I know you're going on and on, but Philippines and Thailand, which one?
It's hard with that one because it's like Thailand has the body and Thailand has a lot to do. Philippines don't have a lot to do, but the GFE is really addictive. Like, I mean, you got to think, Big Boss, if I ever, because I need to go back on Facebook, try to see if I can rip some of them videos off. But I had some videos on Facebook where I had a Filipino girlfriend. We were in a villa, and I think it was like $60, $70 a day. You know, we had the pool, everything access, and they went out and got us food. And, you know, I like to have pepperoni, mushrooms, and extra cheese or whatever, right? You know, Filipinos, they like it sweet and bitter. So she put some pineapple on there. Oh, I lost it. I was like, what the fuck you putting this pineapple off? She was like, oh, I thought you might like it. You know, I like the pineapple. I was like, man, I don't want this shit. I don't want it. And you know what this chick said? Now, American chick would have said, fuck you, you have still pay for it or whatever. She was like, okay, I'm sorry. I'll pay for it with my own money. If you want to get rid of me, I understand. I said, no, I'm not going to get rid of you. I felt bad for her. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm just like, they like sweet and bitter. So when you go to Philippines, Big Boss, just remember they like sweet and bitter. So that's the only thing. The food is like sweet and bitter. That's their style. You know, Mexican is like sweet and spicy, but there's a sweet and bitter. So the food is, they don't got strength in there.
But not so much sweet. Pause.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you could get whatever pizza you like, they'll put some damn pineapples on it just to have that sweetness on it. I was like, what in the world?
I got something sweet for you, all right. Oh, man.
But the pool though, that was in the villa, Big Boss, I paid, I want to say, I forget how much it was. I think it was like, it might have been less than 80. I forget, it was a long time, but the water wasn't regular chlorine water. It was water from the mountains that was getting poured in there. So it was on some next level shit. Like you could dive in the water and your eyes won't burn from things. Yeah. Yeah, that was some next level shit. So I'm there with my arms around her, and she's like, oh, if you want to get rid of me, it's okay. I understand. I'm like, I'm not going to get rid of you. It's all right. I'll just pick the pineapples off. It's not that serious. You know what I mean?
Exactly. At this point. Well, there's other ways for you to make it up to Bossy Boss. My mind, I'm always on mission, man. I'm always on the mission. All this other shit that y'all be doing is irrelevant. But shout out to the travel brothers. There's always different ways to travel. So you said it's hard. You know, I'll try to nail you down. Philippines and Thailand. So how many times? You said you've been to Thailand twice?
Yep, Thailand twice and Philippines twice.
Damn, I've only been to Thailand once and Philippines 0. And I'm going back. Going back. I'm going to Thailand in June. Hopefully. Now, so here's
I had a question I want to ask you. So you're in California, man, and I ain't gonna lie, the main reason why I want to move to California, I hate my job, man. They like me too much. Them motherfuckers knew because I kept opening my mouth. You know I got a big mouth. I'm talking about, man, I'm gonna fucking go to California. I'm a roommate with Big Boss. Them motherfuckers like, yo, no, you ain't. We about to give your punk ass a raise. God damn it. They give me a raise, pull me back in. And I'm like, because I know in California, when you in California, you travel to Philippines and Thailand, it's a lot cheaper. Isn't it like $500-600 round trip?
Something like that. Been to, Philippines, and I only been to Thailand once, and my Thailand ticket was no $500, bro. My when I went to Thailand, it was just under 800. It was like 7.
Wow.
It was under 8. Okay. And so on this ticket that I'm going in June, this ticket was a little over 8. It was like 860. But no, I haven't got no 500 or 600 yet. It's probably possible, but no.
Big Boss, you're gonna look at me crazy. I flew from RDU airport to Thailand, and of course I got it ahead of time. I paid literally exactly, I could tell you the amount, $808 round trip. That shit's crazy. Because I mean, I heard tales from other YouTubers. They was like, yeah, when they go from California, Thailand, or Philippines, they're paying like $500-600. And I was like, whoa, man, I need those prices.
Wow, maybe
I don't know what they doing, but they doing something.
Year, I'd say I only went that one time, and then that one time and whatever, and that one time I went, obviously, right? It was November-ish, back in 2019. So who knows? Throughout the year, it might be the price go up and down, and then if you do it in advance, so it's possible. If I can get it for 8, it's possible they might have tickets for 6, but. Hey, I will see in the near future. But again, on that one, the ticket that I got now for June, it was $860 round trip.
Yeah. Well, also too, I think that dude that when he flies from California to Thailand, I think he goes from LAX too. I don't know where you fly from, but I know he flies from LAX or something.
I fly to San Francisco, SFO.
Okay.
I could fly to Oakland, but I just fly to San Francisco, SFO. Yeah, 800, you know, eight-ish, $800. 5 or 6 would be great. And who knows? I plan to keep going back. So eventually I might catch one for like 600-700. That'd be dope.
But I'm telling you, if you go, I would say go to Angeles City. Angeles City is like a Filipino Sasua minus the harsh prices.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. Angeles City is,
and if you go to Angeles City, bro, you ain't gotta. You know how they have the bar fine. You get a cheap little phone for $5. I don't know how much it costs now. A little cheap phone. You activate it. When you go to the club, you get the girl's numbers out, and app off once you talk to her. When she's gonna meet you at your place, you good to go. I done had I get it.
Okay, your sound is messing up again. Your sound is messing up again. Hold on a second. Funny, even though it's messing up, I could tell what you were saying when you're saying get the phone and go into the bar and get the numbers and try to talk to her for later, but your sound was going out. Let's see if it's still. Say something.
You can get it for $25 overnight.
Oh wow, okay. Well, you kicked in there. I heard that.
And the bar, you got
$25.
If you go, if you
overnight, it kicked in there. Okay, you're back on track.
Now, mind you, if you're like these idiots that don't know, they'll go through the bar and get her 50 overnight. But the chick I got her get for 25 overnight. And remember I told that one chick she was like, "Not free, you pay extra."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're messing up again. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, so you tell me that.
Yeah.
Okay. You tell me that. But then, you know, I'm gonna go back to your previous trip, El Salvador. You went to the place and you forgot to do that at the day concerts. You didn't go in there and collect phone WhatsApp numbers at the day concerts, man. Oh my goodness. But you did it in Philippines. You go in the Philippines.
No, I did that.
Huh?
I should have did that. I made that mistake. But I did have one that, you know, the main one. Yeah. But I know and the main chick, she was trying to do that, but I was just like the one that locked me in. I was just like, man, I don't want to deal with this one no more. She locking me in too much.
Yeah. Yeah, you went for the old rubbing your head and rubbing on your ears BS. Like I said, I would have been a butterfly up in there. I'd have came out, I'd have got another one, then I got another one right in her face, right in the same time, and that would have broke that spell. You spent too much time with her and you created a bond. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, for some reason, like I said, huh?
She locked me in the closet. Turned me.
Yeah, your sound is going in and out. We rocked out for about an hour and a half. Yeah, I know you said that you had a storm that passed through. A storm and the wind might have knocked some wires out. So that's the whole reason we had basically this whole interview with you not cammed up to kind of free up some of the bandwidth. And for the most part, your sound was good, but your sound is messing up again. So what I was about to say, Mr. Talkative Interview, and this is your interview, is so for my Thailand trip coming up in June, they basically because I'm unvaxxed, so for the unvaxxed, officially to date, they say that the unvaxxed can come in freely, nilly-willy, no restriction, July 1.
Oh, wow.
But I bought my ticket for June because they also said that they are thinking about relaxing the rules 1 month early June 1. It's not official yet. I think they're going to announce it in the beginning of May. Like in the beginning of May, they're going to announce it for June. But I went ahead on faith and just got it anyway. So now here's my thing. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they do relax it in June. Then I'm good. However, if they don't, if they stick to their July, and I got my June, thank God I got travel insurance, I can push the ticket, or I can still go ahead and boss can do a 5-day quarantine. So do I do a 5-day quarantine in June, or I just push it off till July?
I would push it off to July, man. Push it off to July. 5 days is a lot to lose. 5 days is a lot.
Especially when your trips are only 3 or 4 days. Mine too. My average trip is about 10. My average trip is 10. My longest trip ever was 21 days, but my average trip is 10 days. So 5 days would be half my trip.
Yeah. Yes, I would push it back.
Yeah, more than likely. But I figure the only thing is if I did the 5-day quarantine, I would extend my trip because I still have to insure. I would extend my trip, but as more time off work, I would extend my trip. That's content. That'll be a whole YouTube series. Big Boss on quarantine, trapped in a hotel. I'll make the thumbnail like this in the jail cell in a hotel.
Yeah.
I could get a lot of editing done. So I don't know. We'll see. That's coming up in June. So fingers crossed that they'll let the unvaxxed like me in June 1. Otherwise, I can push it off. And I'm planning a second trip all back to Philippines in October for Halloween. I want to go to the Philippines in Halloween, but that's going to be a group trip. I'm setting it up.
Part?
Huh?
Which part?
Oh, Pattaya, of course. Pattaya. Come on.
No, you're talking about Philippines, man. That's Thailand. Pattaya is Thailand.
That's what I've been talking about this whole time.
Oh, I thought you said you was going to Philippines.
No.
On October.
No. Back to back. No. Thailand.
Okay.
Everything Thailand. Thailand. Yeah. Everything Thailand.
Okay.
But you know what? But I need to include Philippines in there somewhere. So who knows? Maybe in an October trip, because that's what time is moving. So even now, that's only 4 months or 5 months. Maybe in an October trip, maybe I can squeeze in a few days of Philippines before Thailand. But in June, my June trip coming up in June is already done. Well, it's just Thailand. It's Thailand in June. But in October, maybe I can throw a few Philippine days in for October.
Yeah, I would try to do Philippines a couple of days, at least a couple, because and go to Angela City because you won't regret it.
Yeah.
And you could stay at Juanita's house. It's a place called Juanita's house. That I don't know how much they are now, but they used to be $20 a night. $20 a night, and they're clean, no roaches, and they're down the street from the spot.
Wow. Yeah, that's the thing about a lot of these places, right? It's the pre and the post COVID. Some of the places are not. I'm getting this from travel groups, and I'm in several travel groups. In some of these groups, you got guys who have experts in DR, which a lot of them, experts in Colombia, which a lot of them, experts in Brazil, which not a lot, and we have a whole lot of Asia heads. I call them Asia heads, who are experts in Thailand and Philippines. And so some of the guys, we getting all this information coming in. This spot is closed, the ABC hotel, or this club, or this bar, and the same thing in Thailand. So it's interesting, the shuffle. The post-COVID, the post-pandemic shuffle, what establishments are open or closed now. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see post-COVID. Hey, but we always got YouTubers, right? We got these, especially the white guy YouTubers. Shout out to the Australian, European white guy YouTubers. They be out there in Asia heavy, Like I said, you got a lot of brothers that do the DR Sasua YouTubing or the Brazil YouTubing, and you have a lot of white guys who do the Philippines and Thailand YouTubing. So yeah, we're gonna see. Yeah, I think I might add in a little, like 3, 4, 5 days, or 3, 4 days of Philippines on my October.
Really? 4 days, man. Add 4 days for Philippines. And I would do Angela City, City especially.
Exactly. Yeah, people tell me that the Manila is the capital. Manila is if you put it like into the DR, Manila is like the Santo Domingo, and Angeles Cities is more
Yep.
like the sewer.
Yep. You got it on point. You on spot on.
Yeah, a shout out to all the guys, the Asia heads in these groups. They say they say that Manila is like Santo Domingo, the capital, and Angel City like Sasua.
I had a video with me smacking a Filipino girl's, a big butt Filipino girl's butt. I had a video. I might end up posting up, whatever. But yeah, she was from Manila. And dudes was blowing up my IG, Facebook. Where is that girl at? Man, she's bad. I want a fat butt Filipina. I'm like, bro,
I just fat butt. I like big butts and I cannot lie. So I'm gonna ask you this real fast, then. So if it is kind of Sasua-ish, like in the DR Sasua, a lot of the girls or most of the girls in Sasua are not from Sasua. They come from Santo Domingo, Santiago, Puerto Plata. Is it the same in Angel City? Do you have some girl from Manila that goes to Angel Cities to work?
Yep, it is. You're spot on, because in Angela City, a lot of the women are come from different spots, like come from this part and all that part. Now I know when I go to Philippines, I'm gonna probably end up flying into Cebu, because I already did Angela City and I did Manila, so I want to try Cebu because I like the ocean and stuff. Right. But they're coming from different spots to work in Angela City. But I mean, if you don't like the Filipino food, which they have is Jollibee, that's like the KFC of Philippines, Jollibee. It's basically like if you get fried chicken, you put some honey on it, big boss. It's okay. I'm not gonna knock them, huh?
Bitter and sweet again, huh? Everything.
Yeah. So it's okay. I'm not gonna knock them, but I'm gonna go for the other spots. You know what I mean? Because they got Greek food and other food that's pretty good. Like I had this Greek food. It was spicy. It was like you ever had roast beef with vegetables? It was basically roast beef with vegetables on rice, and the roast beef was a little spicy. It was like some Greek food or whatever. It was pretty good.
Iranian Greek. Yeah. Okay, it sounds dope. Yeah, you know what? Shout out to my buddy. His WhatsApp code name is J-Rock. The same guys, the ex co-worker who been going to Philippines for 15 years. He been all over, and he also talks about Cebu. Like I know a lot about Philippines from him alone. Like I said, me and him used to work together for 3 years, and for those 3 years, even within those 3 years, I seen him go to the Philippines about 6 or 7 times. And obviously, he was going way before I met him. He's been going since. I think I just spoke to him not too long ago. He's going to the Philippines. I think he's going next month. If I'm not mistaken, I think my guy is going in May.
Oh, wow.
He's going next month. So he's a Philippine head. And funny, he's never been to Thailand. I said, bro, how do you go to Philippines 15 years, twice a year, that side of the world, and you never went to Thailand? He said, man, I just caught up in the Philippines. I said, wow. So, yeah, I think he's going next month. He talks about it all the time, Cebu and all that. Yeah, so I'm going to go. You know what? Damn it. I'm going to go in October. In my October Thailand trip, I'm going to add 4 days, Philippines, Angel City, because Mulano, the travel vlogger, says so.
Yep. And you ain't gonna you ain't gonna how do you say regret it. Yeah, because right. Philippines, it's so crazy. So with Thailand, the women got the body, and there's always something to do.
Speak on that. Why did everybody, and I get it's a stereotype. Everybody think that Thailand women are all skinny. That's a stereotype.
They're looking at them, oh, they're Asian. But a lot of people don't know this. I'm going to give the secret. A lot of brothers came, I think, from the World War or whatever it came. They came to Thailand, and they basically put their pipe, plugged in that pipe. And a lot of Thai women are built like sisters. Now, Philippines, they're not always built like sisters because they have that Asian and that white Spaniard in them. So that's why they're built like they are. But in Thailand, they have a lot of black in them. They're actually more closer to the look of sisters than anything. Thailand. Now
Man,
Thailand.
when I was in Thailand last time, I was seeing thick Thai chicks who are like a lighter brown skin. Their hair is like a certain kind of grade where they have their hair braid like black girl braid.
Yeah, exactly.
Their skin is very like tan, hips, ass. I'm trying to tell guys, and they don't want to believe me. I said, okay, you don't want to believe me. I'm trying to tell you. Think about it. I'm Big Boss. I'm the original monger. I'm not like these other motherfuckers that boo up. If Big Boss say it, take it to the bank. I ain't got no reason to lie. I bust it out. If Big Boss say they got it, then they got it.
Yeah.
Or not.
And I'll put it like this: if you go to
footage, and I guess
if you go to Soy 6, you're gonna fall in love in Soy 6. Because Soy 6, they got all of what you were saying. All Soy 6 makes Sasua look like dog shit.
Right.
So I'll say it again.
At the same time, I'm getting tired of saying it. So I mean like this. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and the streams that you stay your ass in Sasua then. Stay your ass in Medi. Go to Medellin, Colombia, and get scopamine, drugged, and robbed. Go to I've been trying to shout out to Zoom to Thailand, who busts on the scene, who's now weird enough. My personal friend Richie Mack came out on this channel a year or so ago, whatever. I've been talking about myself. I've been talking about Thailand since 2019.
Man, Soy 6 is ridiculous.
On Richie Rich Roll the Tape. Richie Rich Roll the Tape in 2019. I've been trying to talk about Thailand. Oh, the flight too far. Well, the flight is long. The flight too far, and all the women are skinny. All the women are skinny. I'm not into Asian chicks. They got pancake flat booties. They all skinny. I said, bro, they are thick. They got hips, ass. Some of you even got jiggable cellulite. You know, if you're into that. I mean, I'm saying to the point, that's how thick. They got jiggable cellulite, hips, ass, light brown skin, hair and braids. You know what? Forget it then. Forget it. More for Boss and Mulano.
Big Boss. I knew a chick. She was like 40 years old. She looked like she was 25 years old in Thailand.
Yeah.
Slim waist, little butt, whatever. Not flat, but little butt, whatever. And I'll say this: Soy 6. You fall in love with Soy 6 so much. That motherfucker, it'll make me want to just say fuck the other places and just go hit Pattaya. Soy 6 is a beast.
He's a beast. Yeah,
Soy
man.
6.
But you know what? I'm going to say this in transparency. While I'm talking all this shit, I went to Thailand only once. I stayed only 7 days. 2 days Bangkok, 5 days Pattaya. Do you know in my 5 days in Pattaya, I never made it to Soy 6. I spent all 5 days on Walking Road. Beach Road and Walking Street. My bad. Walking Street. I never even made it to Soy 6.
I'm gonna tell you right this, Big Boss. You make it to Soy 6, you ain't gonna even want to go nowhere. I'm telling you, Soy 6 makes. I hate to say it. If motherfuckers from Sasua, if they was like, okay, we're gonna fly you. It's gonna take 2 hours. Do a private jet, fast as fuck, go to Soy 6, them motherfuckers say fuck Sasua.
Right.
Soy 6 is that dangerous. I mean dangerous in a good way.
So on the trip, right? It was a group trip. It wasn't my group trip. Shout out to BKG. BKG set it up. It was a bunch of us.
Oh, yeah, I know him. That's my big homie.
Yeah, from out of New York. Shout out. So
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. They even had it set up for the group, right? You know, Big Boss, I'll be marching to my own tune. So they was in a hotel. I want to say it was the Bay Breeze or Sea Breeze or Bay Breeze. The Bay Breeze Hotel that was up by LK Metro in Soy 6. My ass, I stayed in the Grand Hotel that was right on Walking Street. It's literally on Walking Street. from our window, from my balcony, I had a little terrace. From my balcony, I could see 808 from my balcony. So I was literally right on. So I couldn't lose, right? I was literally on Walking Street. But BKG was saying, boss, yeah, you down there on Walking Street, but Walking Street really don't have nothing going on in the daytime. Walking Street come alive at night with all the nightlife. He said, where I'm at in LK Metro and Soy 6, all the daytime bars and the daytime stuff and the nighttime. So I like, and I never made it up to Soy 6. So all of them, they would come down to Walker Street at night and we'd hit up 808, we'd hit up Flex, and then they'll go back. And I stayed my whole 5 days right in Walker Street. And guess what? I still had a blast. So
Walking Street has some gems too. Because I hit Walking Street with BKG and T Love Entertainment. And Walking Street has some gems. T Love then took down a bad one.
That trip, T Love actually said it. So weird. Shout out to T Love Entertainment, which is my moderator, also from Oakland. T Love and BKG set up the trip. And damn it, I told him to his face, T Love didn't even make the trip. But shout out to him. He helped set it up, T Love and BKG, but T Love didn't make the trip. But BKG, and then what BKG did, he went a few days early. He went to Philippines for a few days first, and he came directly from Philippines and met us there. So
I'll tell you this. BKG probably gonna blacken my eye for saying this, but he loved Philippines.
No, he
love it. He loves Philippines because it's laid back. You get that CFE experience. It's not so aggressive. It's just calm, like, you know. And I'm not gonna lie. Me and him, one thing we share in common is Philippines because, like, Angeles City, Manila, like, I had some great experiences. The experiences I had in Manila, Philippines, and Angeles City, yo, I could tell them to anybody, and motherfuckers would change their whole perspective on traveling. Like, I remember one chick was like, oh, well, them Filipino women just want you for a green card. I said, yo, I was in Angeles City. The chick slept with me. I told her how much. She told me, oh, I got a job. I don't need your money. I just gave her $10 because I felt bad because the minimum wage is $5 a day.
Right.
Chick gave it to me for free. And the chicks that in the States are like, what? She gave it to you free? She didn't want a green card? I'm like, no, you can't. You go on that 90-day fiance stuff. Nah, I'm really living it. You on that reality TV. I'm really living it. Like, her family co-signed for me. Her family's actually mad with her because so a guy from Europe, you know how they get them fossil watches for cheap because, you know, Europe has high money. And he got a fossil watch for real cheap. That probably would be expensive in America, but he got it for cheap. Because, you know, the euros and stuff. He gave her a fossil watch. She forgot all about me. Her family told her she was a dumbass. She should have stayed with me and said, fuck that guy. And she ended up pursuing him. Whatever happened. And she was like, oh, Mulano, send me some money. I'm hurt with a baby. I said, oh, no, you chose him. I'm good. That's what you wanted. But her family was mad at her because see, the thing about it is I met her family and I got approved. He met her family. They was like, nah, fuck him. I don't like his personality. I like Mulano's personality. He's humble. Why didn't you stick with him? She fucked up. Her family was like, yo, you stupid as hell. You should have kept that the Mulano dude because he's real cool, everything. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of women was like, oh, in the States, they'd be like, oh, they only use me for a green card. I think it was just her fault, but at the end of the day, I got approved by her family. You know what I mean? If she would have acted right, that would have been good. You know what I mean?
Okay, right on. Shout out to that. But as you're talking, I had to ask, you know, because, you know, we you know, men, we are in different seasons of our life, different phases. Say for the sake of argument, like the Marvel, what if? Were you ready at that time to set it? So were you going to go all the way? Was you going to be like the old guy in Raleigh, North Carolina in the trailer with the Filipino wife that dies in the beer? So were you ready for that? Or were you just trying to have fun?
I'll be honest with you, Big Boss. I know it sounds weird what I'm about to say. I was 1 foot in one and 1 foot out, and I'm gonna tell you why I said this. Normally, if my father, if my father didn't pass away, I would have been all the way in. As far as I would have been player, I probably would have been committed. So the only thing I would have had be committed, like, oh, I lost my father. I need somebody. I you know, when you get that emotional and you lose somebody, like, oh, I need somebody to have in my life. You get like that. That's why I said 1 foot in. But if my father, say if nothing happened to my father and it was just, I know he's crazy. They'll be like, okay, your father pulled a gun on somebody at work. All right, we can live with that. Whatever. As long as I'll be back. He was crazy. He was a white dude that lived in the hood.
Okay, so that happened? Your dad put a gun on somebody at work?
He's had in the past, but that's why when they told me he passed away, there was like something happened to your father. I'm like, all right, who did he pull a gun on? You know what I mean? But when he said he was done, you know, he was basically like a white Tupac. You know what I mean? He don't take shit. You know what I mean? So, you know, if he would have never passed,
may he rest in power.
Yeah, if he would have never passed away, I probably would have been like, oh man, I'm gonna have you, but I gotta have other chicks. I wouldn't have been ready. You know what I mean? Because my pops already told me when I went to Philippines, he's like, yo, tell me what it is, because I'll go out there with you. Because I went out there with you in Philippines. But I'll be honest with you, he loved DR so much he didn't even want to come back. So I know if he go to Philippines, that might be retirement for him. He might tell his job like, yo, you know I'm done, right? You know I'm done, right? Just give me my retirement check.
I'll figure it out. Whatever I got on the books, pay me now. Yeah, man. Hey, be like that. You know, and you know, shout out to your dad. You know, he passed now, whatever. But I'm only going to speak on the situation till, you know, I'm a little up in age, even though I don't look it. At the end of the day, we have to do what's right for us because we're not going to live forever. Even if we do live to be 100, we're not going to live to be 1,000. We're not going to live to be 500. We only have a certain amount of time on this earth. And then even with the time we have on the earth, say if you live to be 80 or 90, you really think you can get it in at 70 and 80? So now you're talking about your good years, your active, frisky years. We have to do what's right for us, man. And you need to do it now. Stop putting it off. Stop waiting. Oh, I'm going to do it in 20 years from now. You might not got 20 years. And then if you do have 20 years, what is your body going to be like? And are you going to really be able to do what you want to do in 20 years?
Tomorrow's not promised. And I like how you think, big boss, because I think that same way. Exactly. And I'm like, man, I'm just going to go and do it. That's why I went to El Salvador. Because I was like, I have to. Even if I don't want to do it, I was like, man, I got to go and do it. Because part of me was like, I don't know if I told you this, but I got $150 credit on one flight that was to Tijuana in the past. And it was like, okay, you got to take this by March or you're going to lose it. So I was going to go to Tijuana, but I'm like, man, I don't want to keep going to fucking Mexico. I keep doing it. I want to do something different. Like you said, so 20 years ain't promised. The future is not promised. I said, let me switch it up. Philly Dom Tom, this El Salvador joint. Let me go to El Salvador. And they hooked me up. They was like, dude, it was only $350 for round trip.
Wow.
$350
round trip. Wow. Why not? Yeah. For the experience, right? For the experience. Now, look, you did the experience. Even if you don't go back, you did it already for 3 days. You got the experience. You've been on here telling me about it. On your channel, I've seen the videos you've been putting out. You got the experience for $350. You did it. You know, so guys, you got to get off the couch. You got to jump off the porch. Go get your passport. Like Razor Ray say, the Infinity Stone.
I motivated a dude at my job to get his passport, but I told him, man, you might want to do Mexico. He want to do Japan. I'm like, slow your roll.
You know, we got to start some guys.
He want to be like Big Boss. I'm trying to tell him you can't be like Big Boss. You a real motherfucker. You a real motherfucker. That motherfucker ain't even walking. He crawling. Listen, if you want, you gotta crawl before you go. Big Boss is sprinting.
Walk before you run before you fly. Big Boss is flying.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, but
I told him he want to sprint. Yeah, I told him, I was like, yeah, you can't. He want to go to Japan. I'm like, bro, you can't. First of all, you can't go to Japan because you haven't traveled before. Second of all, I was like, Mexico would be perfect for you, and I could show you where to go. Because, you know, he's a white dude. He's married. I'm like, well, you could go to Guadalajara because it's not really a manga spot. You'll like the area. He's like, oh, I want to go with my wife. He's like an incel. He's like, I want to go with my wife. I'm like, dude, your wife don't want to go to Mexico with you. If you want to go with me, that's fine. You good to go. You know what I mean? But
Wow.
he wants to go with his wife to Mexico, and he's like, oh, I'm waiting for Japan. So I'm like, okay, you can keep waiting for Japan, but with everything going on, you could be going to Mexico, you know, for the cheap price. But I did motivate him to get his passport, so that's what's good. You know, he got his passport. At least that.
Yeah, I guess. Wow. Shout out to him. Okay. Want to go with his wife? Hey. All right. Yeah, man. We've been rocking almost 2 hours. The counter says 155. We can make it a even 2 hours, you know, and chop it up for a few more minutes and land this plane on the Big Boss Airways, you know. Too bad this is not straight live because I would have loved to see the comments on what we're talking about. But you know, when I post this, I'm talking to the future crowd. You're watching this now, Saturday Night Live. When I post this, you know, it's going to be a premiere, and the whole time of premiere, as you know, people will be able to chime in, and no matter where I'm at, obviously I'm going to chime in, and I'm going to be in the comments. Hopefully, you will be too. Oh yeah, I will post this coming Saturday, whatever this Saturday is, the 30th.
But Big Boss gotta definitely go to Philippines, man. I'm telling you.
It's definitely.
yeah.
I'm not even going to disrespect it and say a bucket list. It's not even a bucket list. It's on a list. It's on a regular list. So yeah, and it might be this year, most likely when I go to Thailand in October. I most likely are going to squeeze in Philippines in October this year. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I'll say this, with the Philippines, I had so many different experiences with the women that it was mind-blowing. But with the women in Thailand, it was weird for me because I had a main chick and now I'm trying to be a player. So it's more hectic than everything. One chick's like, oh, I like you.
You guys are killing me, man.
Yeah. I'm like, he's like, I like you. I'm like, listen, my main knows that Thai boxing. She gonna whoop my ass and your ass. You need to get out of here. Whatever you want me to pay, I'll pay. I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to get my ass whooped. She's like, but I like
that story. You told me that story when you came on the first time.
Yeah.
She's gonna kick both our asses. So I know I asked you, but indulge me. So your main chick. How did you meet your main chick in Thailand?
Oh, so my main chick, she was sending money to her parents because she worked a regular job. It was like a massage / salon. She didn't like really doing the massage thing. She don't like touching people. She rather work on the feet and nails, but she had to do the massage because that's what most people were getting. And it was a platonic massage or whatever. Okay. And I met her sending money to her family. I was talking to her, and we went on the first date. You know, I was playing. I was like, oh, this money's too expensive. I'm just playing, CheapSkateJake stuff. She pulls out the money and paid for it. And I'm not looking. I'm like, wait a second. She's like, we good. I'm like, wait, hold on. I don't want, because she already paid the waitress. I'm like, yo, I don't want to go into Thailand jail for not paying. She's like, no, baby, I got it. I done paid for you. So in Thailand, if you can get a chick to pay for you on the first date, that means she really like you. Because that's actually taboo in Thailand. Like, you're not supposed to pay for any man, even a foreigner. Like, that's like you get a chick from the hood and she paid for a date for 50 cents. Like, the chicks in clown are like, what? That motherfucker rich. Why you paying for his date? Like, she gonna get bashed and everything. So she really.
But that's because these chicks are stupid, because it really on some gang shit, on some gang. Yeah. Chicks would be smart to do that, even to do what rich do, because what? That'll put you at the front of the line. But I digress. Chicks, they're not even, a lot of them not even smart enough to know that game. Like, doing that, if a chick do that, you're gonna look at her different, and she jumps to the front of the line because it is so rare. How many chicks would do that? Will pay it forward, but you know that's like trying to teach them Chinese arithmetic. Okay, carry on. So, you know, bossy boss, man. So, did you smash that first night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where the came from.
Even with the Filipino chick, I smashed the first night because I think with them and I think with a lot of females, it's weird because it helps and it hurts me. So this is what a lot of people put this image with me. So Big Boss, they not gonna fuck with. They know they can't run over me. I'm gonna run over him. With me, I'm like the nice guy. So that could help and hurt me. So a lot of dudes may think, oh, I'm gonna try Mulano because he looks like a nice guy. But with the women, they're like, oh, he's a nice guy. He ain't gonna cheat on me. He ain't gonna do that. So a lot of times I get the draws easier because they're like, oh, he's a nice guy. He ain't gonna cheat on me. He ain't gonna do that. And that image helps me. But you know, with the other dudes, I gotta really prove myself because they're like, oh, he a nice guy. He like a Will Smith. I know I could, you know what I mean? But with the women, they're like, oh, he a nice guy, you know.
Okay, but Will Smith, as of late, he woke his savage up.
Yeah, he had to prove himself, man.
Right, yeah, but he had to prove himself. Yeah, he woke his savage up real fast. Right on. But yeah, but you know, and you know what? It's a trip. Like, you know, I'm gonna bring everything back to my rant. There's some damn American culture, man. That in American culture nowadays, modern, okay, a lot of times the nice guy finishes last. You can't be nice.
Yeah.
Even if you want to be nice, even if you want to be nice, and you think, right, you think you probably should. If you want to be nice, the average modern American Western chick will take your kindness for weakness.
Yeah. Like, oh, I could get over on him.
You take that overseas to other cultures, which is human, and you're nice to a woman, she appreciates what a gratitude. You do that here, they don't appreciate it. Oh, he's weak. You can't fucking win, brothers.
Yeah.
Get your passport.
Yeah.
It comes back. Now, this is a 360. Ain't no 180. It's a 360. A literal 360. Get your passport. Everything is better. Everything.
Yeah, because Big Boss is funny. I was talking to a chick in the States, and I told her about how I was 16 and I got jumped by these guys because one guy tried to act like he was friends with the other guy and got right behind me and grabbed my arms, and then they end up, you know, jumping me. She's like, oh, you need to learn how to fight. You probably ain't that tough. You have that nice boy image. But this chick, you know what's so funny? This chick ended up getting robbed from a guy, and one guy, he hit her in the eye and took her stuff. That's one person. And mind you, she was an adult. I'm 16. You know what I mean? But she expects me to do all of that.
It goes to our culture, bro. You know, even if I don't want to put all the blame just on the woman's head. I mean, who started the chicken or the egg? The American culture nowadays, from television, from I don't know what the hell started it. The American culture, USA matrix, is toxic. It's toxic. And when we go to these other countries, whether it's good or bad, people want to clown it and talk about it. Because some places are third world or second world, don't have the money, whatever. Say what you want. Their culture is more regular, is more normal. It's kind of like going in a time machine where America used to be in a night, like the Leave It to Beaver, the black and white Leave It to Beaver. I'm telling my age now. The Brady Bunch, the Leave It to Beaver, you know, the Happy
Leave It to Beaver, yeah.
1960s. When you go in these other countries, they have regular relations. You're a human being. You can be nice and be appreciated. You can
be yourself.
You try to shit in the States, you're a sucker. You're a simp. You're weak. You have to be tough. You have to be mean. You have to call a bitch a hoe and slap her.
Even Tupac said it on one video. He literally said he was being nice to women, and he was wondering why the dudes calling bitch and hoes were getting all the women. Tupac literally said that.
You know, Boss is a Tupacologist. I know the exact interview you're talking about. I'll bring it up, but every time I try to do that, I got the little copyright claim, not strikes, but I got claims every time I try to react to Tupac. But Boss, I'm a Tupacologist. Yeah,
Yep.
Tupac said that. You know, when he'd try to be nice, and this is Tupac, but it's kind of before he was really Tupac, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
he'd try to be nice, he wasn't getting no play. And so,
Yep.
but these
Exactly.
American chicks, their minds are just fucked up. I'm gonna say it on Big Boss Real Talk. A lot of these American Matrix chicks, their minds are fucked up, and it's the upside down world from what Stranger Things, the upside down fucking world. But
Exactly.
okay. That's why we got this.
Yep. We got options. That's how we get it popping.
Damn.
Yeah, because I remember I had a Puerto Rican chick. She was like, "Oh, you look like a nerd and everything." So she tried me, and I remember she bit me on my hand. I smacked the shit out of her, and I ended up jabbing her aside. You would think the chick ready to call the police on me. That motherfucker wanted to sleep with me. She was like, "Oh, I thought you was a pussy. I didn't know you did it like that. Come over. I'm gonna make you food and have sex with you." I said, "Yo, this bitch is crazy." I was like, "Wow,
that's deep.
That shit's crazy." Huh?
How long ago was this?
This was a while ago. I was like, I want to say, I was like 18 years old or something like that. But it was crazy because
was it in the state where you at now?
Yeah, well, no, I was in Boston when this happened, but it's crazy because he was like, "Oh, you need you." She was always telling me like, "You need to wear jerseys with a fitted hat," and I have this image. And like I said, she tried me, and then when I did that, she was like, "Oh, I thought you was a little nerd. Oh, I didn't know you could do it like that." And I've even worked with women at my recent job right now that I work at, where women literally told me they have a nice guy. Literally picking them up, letting them use their car. They won't give him no play. The ex-husband that beat the shit out of him, they ready to give him some pussy. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what?
You're not telling me nothing. I know that. I know that in real life. Especially out here in the Bay and Cali or whatever, in the hood, I know that. I don't
That's
know
scary.
what it
Freddy Krueger's Nightmares on Elm Street.
I don't know what it is. In this American westernized culture, from our music, our rap, our video games, whatever happened in the 1980s and 90s and the 2000s in America, our culture is fucking warped. It is upside down warped. If you act like an asshole, you treat a bitch like shit, she ready to suck your dick and give you pussy. I could say it on a big
ready to suck your dick backwards. If you want to be
nice, if you want to be nice and be a gentleman, then you're a sucker and you're weak. You can't be nice. So
they will run over you and take all your money and everything.
Yep, facts.
Exactly. You know, I'll be nice. They'll take my money, spend it on Big Boss, who's ready to smack the shit out of her. Oh, fuck me harder. Smack me harder.
Big Boss Real Talk. I'll be trying to tell y'all tender dick motherfuckers always want to boo love every goddamn thing. You spend all that money to fly overseas to boo love. Bust it up. We over there to bust it up, man. Fuck them hoes. They are our food. We are vampires. They are our food. We over there to bust up. You tender dick motherfuckers go over there. But I get it. But, you know, I'm talking shit. I'm kind of talking shit. You know, I get it. You know, players need love too, right? Because you're even on both sides, we're not getting that affection in many cases. We're not getting that.
My stepfather was he's from New Orleans. He was like you, Big Boss. And he was like, he had the 3 Fs. And I was like, what's the 3 Fs? He was like, fuck them, forget them, forever. I was like, wow.
Your uncle still alive?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
What'd you say?
Is your uncle still alive?
Oh, that was my stepfather. Yeah, he's still alive. He's from New Orleans. Yeah, my uncle. Now my uncle was 20 times worse than him. That motherfucker. Wow. He was like he reminded me of Master P. He was on another level. That motherfucker. Himself alone. My aunt had to watch him because that motherfucker pulled a gun on a motherfucker parking his space in Boston. She's like, yo, this ain't down south. You can't pull guns on people because you'll actually go to jail. Like, you can't just be pulling guns on people for parking your spot. Because the Jamaican dudes pulled in his spot and he was talking shit to him, and he tried to be nice. The dude tried to talk shit to him. He pulled that gun. The Jamaican dude got in his car, pulled off, let him alone, told him he could have the fucking spot. He don't care.
Okay,
Over a parking spot.
I'm curious. The parking spot, not that it matter, right? But still, the parking spot, what at his house, at his apartment, at his job, where was the parking spot at?
It was at his house.
At his house. Oh shit.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to your uncle. I had something very similar about a year or so ago, more than once. I the gun wasn't involved, was it? Because I normally carry a gun a lot of time. And I remember I shared it in my group, and some of the guys even got on me. Said, "Boss, you overreacted." Very similar. In my building, where I stay, my parking spot, someone was there. This happened more than once. I went almost same way. Don't fuck with boss. Don't poke a bear. It's my shit. It's my shit. It's nothing to say. The only thing to say is my bad. Let me move.
Yeah.
Nothing else needs to come out your mouth because you are already in the wrong already.
Because you're parking in your spot.
It's nothing to say. You can't justify it. It's nothing to say. You damn sure can't get mouthy, or don't say nothing. Just give me a look and drive off, or say my bad. Yeah, I don't play, but I digress. That's what it is, man. This has been a great interview. We over the 2-hour mark, man. I'm glad your audio kicked back in good. I could go a little bit longer. I'm having a vibe. Even though, shout out to you, Mulano, the travel vlogger. This is, your interview. Thank you for coming on because, like I said, this Saturday, I don't plan to go live. It'd be crazy if I end up just hitting record and go live anyway. I don't plan to go live this Saturday, so I'm doing this today, and I'm going to post this Saturday, premiere it, and thank you for coming on with your time frame. But at the same time, because this is during the week, I do have to work, and technically, I was already supposed to be at my job already, but hey, I do what I do. Oh, wait, hey, it's all good. Hey, I'm big boss. I do what I do. But I do have to show my face. I do kind of have to show up. And the good thing, this is pre-recorded, right? That's why I'm not really saying the day this is, because even if people from my job see it, they don't know what day it is. This is going to air on a Saturday. See how I did that? Hey, man, there's levels. But I appreciate you, Mulano. I'm going to have you on again. Always more than, you're always welcome to come on my platform. I told you, man, I don't know, you don't really do a lot of live. You can invite boss on your platform and interview me, you be on the right side of the screen and you can interview big boss on your channel. It's all good. Get your numbers up. So just let me, you don't really do a lot of lives though, huh?
Yeah, I don't really, I do the live when I'm in the mood, and a lot of times I do it for my subscribers. I'm still learning because I remember QB flexing was like, man, I want you to have me on your platform. But I was like, I'm still learning the stuff. But I told him I'm gonna try to have him on there and other people. But I'm just learning the stuff, how to do it. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, man. Like I said, whenever you get it up and going, absolutely have me on your platform. Invite Bossy Boss on your platform. You can interview me. Even though, I guess we both, I'm still relatively new to this, obviously, right? I started my channel back in September, and right now it currently is April. So that's however many months that is. Haven't been a year yet. So I'm relatively new, but I just been doing it a lot. It got to the point I was going like every Saturday. And for a minute, you remember I was going on Fridays too, my Friday night tap in. So I've done about 50 or 60 of these things. So over time, but I'm still relatively new and learning the protocol.
I've had people, tell me like, oh, you need to have me on it. And you know what I'm saying? But with the work and everything, but I'll be honest with you, with the whole Salvador thing, a lot of people told me, oh, well, you had these negative reviews. I'm not going to go. I'm like, man, still go, because you might have a better time than me. You know, if you do the beach, if you do something else, you might have a different results. You know,
Or
I'm
go
just
longer.
telling
I
you
mean,
what to look for.
how much
Yeah.
did you do in 3 days too? You have to
Yeah,
take
I
that
did 3 days. So if you do 7 days, you might have a better situation than me. Now, I
boom.
will say, shout out to QB Flex, and he showed me a rooftop video, and I was like, bro, I went there, and them motherfuckers said I had to have a reservation. Now, that might be that one day you have a reservation. Say if it was Wednesday. Say if Wednesdays you have to have a reservation. If I would have done it Thursday or Friday, I might not need a reservation. You see what I'm saying? So
No.
take everything what I say as a grain of salt. Don't
Right.
sit up there and write off at San Salvador. I'll say this: it is cheap, and for all my mongers that want to go to a place to monger for cheap, it is dirt cheap. You don't have to worry about conversion. I'll put it like this: if you like Tijuana, the only thing Tijuana got over San Salvador is that you could fly in the States versus flying out the country. But as
Right.
far as San Salvador, the prices are way cheaper than Tijuana. You'll probably come back with money from San Salvador, but Tijuana, you might owe money. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You
And
know, so.
boss, I don't care for Tijuana, but yeah, you dropped the gym, you dropped the bar right there, which is obvious, but it needs to be said. Everybody still needs to experience everything for themselves because we're all different. Like in my case, I committed the unpardonable sin. I don't care for Medellin. Now
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say Medellin is trash, but I don't like Medellin, and almost everybody in a travel community, they love it. And
Yeah, I have a homeboy that told me he will literally meet Big Boss. I have a homeboy. He literally told me, bro, you can stay on my spot. Just buy me a couple of chicas and you good. And you know, that could be $20, $40, whatever. But he'll let me stay at his spot because he got like, I think, a 3-bedroom apartment. And he'll show me the chicas that don't try to drug you, whatever. I could literally go to Medellin, good money. But
go,
you know,
go.
like you said, yeah.
Go. Don't listen to me. But
Yeah.
Like I put my sound effect. That was kind of before the recent rash of druggings. Now that's a whole nother thing. I wasn't even talking about that. The druggings and scopamine. Outside of that, I would still tell people to go. Don't listen to me just because obviously my Yelp review is the minority. 99% of guys love it. For whatever reason, it didn't hit for the boss. But I love Bogota. I like Bogota. So you got to go for yourself. And then, like I say, on the El Salvador, to keep it real, you only went for 3 days. How much could you do in 3 days? So someone, they need to go for themselves and experience for themselves. Yeah. And TJ, I don't care for TJ, but you got guys who love TJ.
Big Boss hate TJ. Big Boss hate TJ. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest. I know why you don't like TJ. It's really expensive, and I'll be honest with you. But with TJ, you just have to budget your money. It's gonna be hard because if you go to street meet, you're not gonna get the expectation you want, and if you go to women and the ones at club, it's gonna be too high. But you got a budget.
You caught in the middle. You
Yeah,
go to
exactly.
You go to the clubs, they charge too much, and they don't give the service I want. If you go to the street, it's a little cheaper, but they actually charge a little too much versus what you're going to get the experience, and you still kind of can't get the service. I'm like, then what the hell am I doing here then? What the fuck?
Yeah.
I can't win from losing. But you got some guys who love it.
Hey, yeah, exactly right.
Knock yourself out. Hey.
Now I will say Tijuana, you could go at minus. I don't know about Sosua, but I know Tijuana, you could actually go broke messing with Tijuana. Whether you're in California, North Carolina, New York, you will go broke in Tijuana.
I mean, you're right there on the border of California. It's little America. It's still little America. You literally can just walk across the border. You're very close. They use a lot of the American dollars, even though they should be on the Mexican peso, but especially in Tijuana. Oh, it's nothing for them to steal you. I remember I went in the club and a tip jar it was more dollar bills than Mexican pesos. I'm like, what the hell? Am I in Mexico or what? I'm in Mexico, and in Mexico, the jar had green USD. I said, golly, oh man. So it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Go for
Now
yourself.
I'll say Guadalajara is pretty good as far as a little cheaper price.
That's
it's
on
not
the bucket list.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's
on a bucket list.
Yeah, it's not a manga spot, but it's a good spot to chill at. You know what I mean? Like a laid back area.
Yeah, well, I don't go to laid back. I go to manga. So, but yeah, but even in that statement, right?
Yeah.
Different travelers. Some guys do go to relax. Some guys do rarely, but you know, I still feel a way when I hear guys say that.
Now, what is too expensive of Big Boss? What is too expensive of Big Boss?
For the chicas?
Yeah.
Was too expensive. The way I don't like anything over $50. But
okay.
But of course, you know, it is what it is. I do the 60, 70, 80. I do it when in Rome. Yeah. Well, you know, you have a captured audience. What the fuck you gonna do? Get back on the plane? You're already there. Yeah. So I get it. I do it. I don't go over 100 at all.
Yeah.
So my thing for 100, my thing is 50. I should be able. My thing is this. I should be able to get 2 for 100.
Yeah.
If not 3, but my minimal is 2 for 100 for 100 USD. For 100
I'll tell you
USD,
this, Guadalajara, you can get 2 for 100, but what you're gonna have to do is get those 2 girls in the game and take the loss at first. Get their WhatsApp, and then you can get your price what you want. So, because I have a taxi guy I deal with, and a lot of people, and one of the guys, shout out to KRP, I mean KR1, you know what I mean? I was telling him, like, if
Kenny
you deal
Can,
with
is it Kenny Can?
Yeah, shout out to him. I was telling him,
say it right. He has a YouTube channel. His YouTube is KPR1. KPR1.
Okay, KPR1, yeah. So with him, he was like, yeah, they charge too much, but I was like, yeah, you pay the expensive part on the first time, but when you get their information, you could get cheaper. Like the same chick I paid probably maybe $100, she was charging like $40, $50 on her own personal level. Now, I just didn't deal with the same chick, but I could have, and I could have got a cheaper price. But in Guadalajara, if you move like a certain way, you can actually make it cheaper. You know what I mean? I paid, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like that. It's on the bucket list, but with so many options, so many countries, and the LBC is kind of hard being. Yeah, I mean, when you got to go to places like that where you got to start making all these little extra hacks and little tricks and little tips, why do that when you can just go where it's good? But yeah.
There's a lot of guys addicted to Colombia. Cartagena, I knew, is a little pricey, but a lot of guys loving Cartagena because of the beach. Medellin, like I said, I have a homeboy who's out there. He's like, man, you could stay with me. You ain't got to pay for nothing. Just buy me 2 chicas. I'm good to go. And you can stay for a week for free, whatever. I don't care. Now, he'll make sure the girls are official. I don't get drugged, whatever. So I'm good. But, you know, not everybody got that benefit. You know, like I'm blessed to know this guy, but some, you know, they might get drugged. Now, for all the guys out there, I'm giving y'all game. If y'all want to go a place and y'all newbies, I would suggest y'all go do the mansion. The mansion, you ain't got nobody. The girls are official. You won't get drugged. That's a good place to start. It's like the Blackbeards of DR. You know what I mean? I don't know if you ever been to Blackbeards, but
I know all about it. I got their newsletter. I never been. Every time I say I'm gonna go, I never go. But yeah, I got their newsletter, if you know what I mean, and it shows all the ladies they have.
Big Boss, you need to go one weekend.
I do.
Bears, man.
I know. You're right.
I'm telling you.
I need to go. Bucket list. I got a lot of bucket lists. I need to go. Yeah, Blackbeard. But that's about it, because that Pedro Casante played out. Because $100 copy.
Blackbeards, one good thing I'll say about Blackbeards is the price is always the same. That's what I'll say about Blackbeard. The price is always the same. Ain't no more. Ain't. I mean, you could get less. You know, Jake, so I could probably get the price a little less. Some guys are just happy with the regular price. The price I paid is looking crazy. I got a noggin for $20, and everything was supposed to be $40. Now they got it for $20.
Hey, that's what's up.
And motherfuckers that stay there look at me like, "How did you get that? How did you get that?"
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I hear you. Well, we've been rocking almost 2.5 hours. Your internet is going in and out, in and out. We pushed through it, man. I think this is nice. I think people will like it. It is what it is, you know. None of us are super big time yet, you know. Hey, we're doing this for the people, entertainment, giving them something to look at. So I'm gonna let you go, man. So thanks for coming on. Any last words? Rock out, man. Rock out.
I'll say this. Go to San Salvador, even though I have some negatives about it on my channel, Mulano the Travel Vlogga. Still try San Salvador. I would try the beach area, but with the casas, they're very dirt cheap. Still go there, still try it. I had a bad experience, but my experience doesn't make your experience. Holla at your boy.
Boom. My experience don't make your experience. Still go see it for yourself. That's what's
exactly
up. And your channel, this is your channel, Mulano the Travel Vlogga. Real fast, like last time, you mind if we go to your channel right fast? I can show them.
Yeah, go ahead.
All righty. Do it right fast before we get out of here. Like we always do about this time. We're going to do it in the window this time. We're going to do it in the window.
It's funny when you say that, Big Boss. I think about with the old Snoop Dogg videos, and I was chilling with the OG in Tijuana, and man, he was playing old Dr. Dre and old Snoop Dogg. I don't even smoke, and I had to smoke with him. Damn. I was peer pressured without being peer pressured.
Right. The travel boy. Nah, it's not funny why that still come up. What happens if I click that? Oh, okay, it just goes to you. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. When I smoked with the OG, I didn't even want to smoke anything in the States anymore. It gotta be from Mexico or California. I ain't even doing it.
Wow, okay. That's what's up. So you guys see it. This is channel. I thought I put this on the what's the name? Let's see. No, whatever. This is the channel. Mulano the Travel Vlogga. That's how you spell it. Mulano the Travel Vlogga, because he is a Mulano, mixed heritage. Shout out to all the mixedness in him. He has almost 940. He should have, because I just let's see if I refresh this. Dang, I just subscribed. Well, you know, he needs about 60 more. Let's get him 60 more subscribers. 61. He'll be at 1,000 subscribers. He has a lot of content. Mexico. All this
Mexico. I love Mexico a lot, man.
Huh?
Guadalajara, Mexico is pretty good. Even though I had 1 or 2 bad experiences, I will say, Big Boss, you need to check out Guadalajara, Mexico, because it has a good experience.
Between you and again, shout out to Philly Dom. Between you two, I just might. It's on the bucket list. I'll say that. Yeah. It's on the bucket list. Guadalajara is on the bucket list. El Salvador is on the bucket list. It's on the bucket list, man. Bali, I want to check out Bali, Indonesia. It's on the bucket list.
Because I'll be honest with you, if you want to stay there a month, they got rent. I know they got apartments. One dude was telling me, and this is what the dude quote me, $120 US.
Whoa,
in El Salvador. For an apartment.
For an apartment. Wow.
Yeah. I just didn't pursue it. I could have probably plugged in and got it, but I would, you know, I was on 3 days, so I didn't just try to push for it, but I probably could have found out where it was at, and I should have, just to show the people, but dude told me that there was like $120 for a regular apartment in a decent area.
Wow.
Decent. Not
120.
not
I heard that.
good,
I
just
heard that.
decent.
Well, yeah, definitely. And by the time I go, I'm gonna reach out to you. Definitely, I'm gonna reach out to Philly Dom. Good thing about being in travel groups, right? That there's good and bad, right? There's always some mess in travel groups. We're brothers. But one good thing about being in travel groups, you get the shared knowledge about a lot of places. So yeah, that's what's up. You guys see his channel, Mulano, the travel vlogger. Make sure you subscribe. We had 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Mulano, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna bid you a good night. Shit, we got to do this again.
Yeah.
On my channel or your channel. Mi casa, tu casa, whatever that is. All right, man. Appreciate you. Peace. Boop. And then there was Big Bossy Boss. So there you have it. Rocked out for over 2 hours, 2.5 hours. If I was really, really going live on a Saturday night, right? Me and Milano still would have rocked out probably a little longer, or at this point, I would be dropping a link. It would turn into a tap in, but not gonna happen. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will put this out Saturday night. So when you guys see it, it's going to be Saturday. It's going to be, won't be live. It's going to be premiere or pre-recorded, right? Pre-recorded live premiere on Saturday night. That's what it is. And yeah, it's going to be on the new channel. Also, make sure you go subscribe to Big Boss Real Talk Podcast. Hey, while I'm here, let me share the screen for that for you guys who's still around. Okay. Boom. Oh, boom. It should pull up. Big Boss Real Talk. Yeah. With an extra word. Big Boss Real Talk Podcast. You better pull up. There you go. So, boom. Big Boss Real Talk Podcast. I got 30 whole subscribers. Yay. Here it is. I got 1,200, almost 1,300 subscribers on the Big Boss Real Talk, and I have 30 on this channel. So you guys make sure you run this shit up, man. It's going to take as long as it takes, but you'll see right here, all my previous live streams are all on this channel. And going forward, all the new ones will start to be on this channel. You can find them all here if you ever want to go back and binge. Who watches old live streams? I get it. But guess what? My channel is going to keep growing. And even though I have 1,000 subscribers, one day I'm going to have 100,000 like Check in Effect and beyond. And so as new people come who haven't seen this, it's going to be new for them, right? They can binge, and who knows? All these things are hours long and whatever. One of them is 10 hours with Jordan. It's 5, 6, 7 hours. Great for the truckers. For you truckers out there who be on a long road, this is a good channel for truckers. Click one of these things that's 5 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, and hear Boss-O-Leeny cook in gas for hours on end. Hours and hours. I don't know how many hours this is. About almost 60 videos. The average is 3, 4, 5, 7 hours. A whole lot of content. And like I said, every new live stream will be on this channel going forward. So eventually this channel will take off. And my regular Big Boss Real Talk channel, my regular channel is going to be for my just regular edited videos, my regular vlogs. My Big Boss Real Talk will be for my regular videos, but the podcast channel will be for my live streams. All my live streams. That's what it is. So make sure you subscribe to Bossy Boss from Oakland, the 510. Big Boss Real Talk Podcast. That's what it is. In the building. And we about to be out. That being said, guess I got to go out with the big bass beat.
This is the talk, real talk. This is the talk, big boss. This is the talk, real talk.
This is the talk with Big Boss.
Real talk,
Real talk.
You piss them off.
Piss them off.
This ain't the channel for
Whoop,
your
whoop.
selfies, just click off.
Whoop, whoop.
But if you lie,
Hit
subscribe.
subscribe.
Oh, you better know the coast we ride.
Whoop, whoop.
You in your feelings when you talk, we keep it real.
Keep it real.
Roast control, you better know we keep it real.
Keep it real.
You in the chat room listening, hit the like. If you a hater in here tripping,
Take a high.
You in these YouTube streets on your bike.
On your
You
bike.
text the internet, flex and get a like. You need to cut it.
Cut it.
Way out your budget.
Of your budget.
Real talk, that's in private or in public.
Big Boss. Big Boss.
Big boss.
Big Boss. And you know it's real talk.
It's real talk.
Big boss.
Big boss.
Big Boss.
Big boss.
Big boss. And you know it's real talk.
It's real talk.
Big Boss.
Big boss.
Big Boss.
Big boss.
Big Boss.
And you know it's real talk.
It's real talk.
Big boss.
Hey.
Big boss.
Big boss.
Big boss. And you know it's real talk. Real talk. Big boss.
Big boss.
Oh, man.
Big boss.
Oh, man.
And you know it's real talk.
Oh, man.
Big boss.
Oh, man.
Big boss.
Big boss.
Big boss.
And you know it's real talk.
Real talk.
Oh, man. That's what it is. Big Boss. Big Bossy-Leeny from the 510, Oakland, California. East Oakland to be exact. You know what it is. You rocked out with the best. Continue to support Bossy Boss and my little baby step stages. The channel's only 7-8 months, not quite a year yet. The channel is going to grow and grow. Keep rocking out with Bossy Boss. I appreciate all you guys. I know we got haters, but it's all good. My haters make me greater. That's what it is. Now, on some real shit, boss got to go to work. Like, for real, my real job. The hustle, the grind never stops, and we keep it pushing all the way to the top. Real talk. Big Boss, Oakland, California.